Good afternoon, Raider fans, and today we have a special treat for all of you. We're getting a chance to talk to a number of our Raider seniors as we prepare to play Alpharetta this Tuesday night. First person we have with us is Kyle Woestman, and Kyle, tell us a little bit your number and the position you play and some of your plans you have after school.
I'm Kyle Woestman, 63, and I'm a senior defensive tackle and quick tackle. And the game plan for Alpharetta.
I mean, Kyle, you're 4-0 starting into the season now. You've been dominant on the offensive and defensive lines as a team the last two games. What do you look for in the Alpharetta game?
More dominance. Offensively, I think our offensive line is going to be in another game where we definitely have the opportunity to just dominate them up front and make big holes for the running backs and give the quarterback a lot of time to pass the ball. And defensively, I'm going to be playing a lot more defense this game, so hopefully we'll be getting after the quarterback because they run the spread and get a couple sacks, hopefully, and just shut down the whole run and pass game completely and kill them.
Kyle, when you play offensive and defensive line, what's a bigger deal, sack or a pancake block?
Oh, sack, definitely. Sacks are huge. And a pancake block, I had a great one against Wheeler. Got my helmet ripped off, but the sacks are big. I got one stolen from me in the Wheeler game too, but that's what I go for the most.
Well, we know who the statistician is, so we'll try to keep it up top. You know, Kyle, you've been playing. You played on the 2017. You were one of the few sophomores to get some time there. And last year, what kind of pregame rituals do you have that you've developed over the last 3 or 4 years?
Well, I think mine's kind of, a few other guys do it, but most guys during the season, before the game, are trying to get hyped up and getting ready to go. And I just tend to sit back and relax and just calm myself so that way I'm not stiff or like nervous or anything. You just think about what you're going to do when you get out there, and Coach always says, imagine what you're going to do and then do it. So I just try to sit there and relax and think about how I'm going to play and how you're going to hit somebody and that kind of stuff. And then I go out there and try to do exactly what I imagine myself doing. Good,
good. Talk to me about who's probably been your biggest influence as a football player. Who's had the biggest influence on you?
It's definitely been my dad and Coach Hidalgo. My dad, just because he's always pushed me at home. He doesn't need to push me anywhere else besides home because Coach Hidalgo usually takes care of anywhere else. But at home, he's always influencing me to just be the best I can be in school, and outside of it, always like making sure I'm going to the gym and working hard and getting myself right physically, and then in school making good grades and making sure my GPA and SAT scores and everything were good like they wanted me to be. And then Coach Hidalgo, the second I show up at 7:50 in the morning until I leave after practice, he's just pushing me as hard as I can. And I owe just about everything to him with college recruiting and the opportunities I've gotten from colleges and just everything that's happened. He's been the biggest part of it, and I can't thank him enough.
Good. What's your best Raider memory?
It was probably the Norcross game this year, blocking the extra point that won us the game, and that's been the biggest memory, making that one, and hopefully we're going to make some even bigger ones this year.
That's good. That's good. Well, Kyle, couldn't let you go without us asking you one quick question. You've committed to Vanderbilt.
Yes, sir.
And tell me why Vanderbilt? What led you to choose them?
Well, I got a lot of offers during the spring, and I was up to like around 15, I think, and my parents were like, do you have any idea? And you have coaches asking you what you want to do, like the scout and rivals people like asking you what you want to do.
Right.
And I decided that coming into summer, it was a great time to really start focusing on what I want to do, because it's supposed to be a fun process, and it was a lot of fun visiting some of the places. Me and Brandon went on a lot of trips together, which was awesome. We had some great memories from that. But you go from place to place and you're figuring out what fits and what doesn't. And after spring football and things kept going, I would keep eliminating a college, and I had eventually gotten down between Georgia and Vanderbilt were my top two, and I was just looking for coaching staff, academics, playing time, the atmosphere, and the school, of course, and being I'm a great not a great student, but I could do things better. But I'm a decent student, and I have good grades, and I do well in school. And so I knew that Vanderbilt was the place for me because academically it's a top school in the world, and football, it's SEC, and I know they're not the best team, and they go out on the weekends and play Georgia and Florida, and it's a huge upset if they win, but I don't have a problem helping make them a better team, and hopefully one day they'll be able to compete with Georgia and Florida and all these other schools. And it might not be during my time there, but I'll be a building block towards it. And the playing time opportunities, I think if I work really hard this off season, because I got a report up there in mid-June, I think.
Yep.
And just work hard, then I can go there and really get a good chance to play. And Coach Johnson and the rest of the coaching staff there are just phenomenal. And Coach Logo, the defensive line coach, who will be coaching me the most, is probably one of the best men I've ever met. And it feels like home when I go there in Nashville and everything about it. And so I could tell that was the place I wanted to be at.
Good. Well, they always tell you that you just know.
Yeah.
You know which one it is, and you just know.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, thank you very much, and good luck against the Alpharetta Raiders. And that was Kyle Woestman, the senior offensive and defensive lineman for the Raiders. And we'll be back to talk to another one of our players.
Thank you.
Good job, Kyle.
Welcome to Lazy Boy.
I know what's going on here. This furniture, these prices, all this furniture is hot.
Hot.
Come on, kids. Let's go.
It's just a sale. I swear.
Hurry in now for great savings. Comfort, it's what we do. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
Raider fans, welcome back, and we're here with Matt Gilbert, number 68, senior offensive guard. And Matt, so far the season has been terrific for the offense. A lot of points scored. The offensive line has dominated in the last couple of games. Tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to in the Alpharetta game against the Raiders who come here Tuesday night.
Well, we're just looking forward to just scoring more, just putting more points up on the board. You know, we love putting people on the ground, dominating, so that everyone knows that Walton has the best offensive line around. And that's just keep doing it every week, trying to show people who we are.
Now, Coach Evans is your offensive line coach, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of things does he do to build camaraderie amongst the offensive line? Think about some of the famous lines like the Hogs from the Washington Redskins in the 1980s and things of that sort, and they had kind of an aura about them. What does Coach Evans do other than walk around with a baseball bat during pregame to get the offensive line fired up?
Well, he's a different kind of motivator. He's a fun guy to be around, so it's just kind of easy. You can be relaxed around him. You don't always have to be, worried about, I don't want to make a mistake around him. I mean, it's good, and we do stuff. All the offensive linemen, we always do stuff together. We're the closest unit of all the team.
Good. Talk to me a little bit about, Matt, do you have any pregame ritual that you do before each game that you use to get ready for each game on Friday nights?
I just sit down and I just think about what I got to do and just how I got to do it.
When you finally got a chance to run out into Raider Valley last Friday, I mean, you'd been on the road 3 games in a row, got a chance to be at the Dome, which is exciting, and a big win against Norcross. What was it like to run out in Raider Valley as a senior?
It's awesome. It's great coming out in front of them with the black jerseys for the first time. It's just a whole nother thing playing in front of our fans.
Do you hear the fans when you're playing? I mean, do you hear the students over there down there at the one end zone?
In the beginning, you hear them, and then as the game goes on, you just kind of get in the zone until the game's over, pretty much, and then you hear them again when we're chanting way down in the valley.
You know, when you're senior and you've been playing football for a number of years, you think about the coaches that you've had, but who's been the biggest influence on you as a player?
I'd have to say either Coach Evans or Coach Hidalgo. They both taught me that you got to work hard to get what you get, and then if you want to succeed, you got to pay the price for it.
All right, that's good. Matt, before the season starts, I mean, you're working out during the summer and you're working out all spring, of course, now. What kind of goals did you set for you as a player?
Myself, I said that I wanted to improve myself a lot from last year, and I set a personal goal that I wanted to be better then one of the offensive linemen here from the past, Andrew McGinn, I decided my freshman year, the coaches asked me what I wanted to do before I left. I said I wanted them to remember me as the best and not Andrew McGinn anymore.
And? So far, so good?
I'm working. I'm
All right.
working on it.
Good job. Well, that's Matt Gilbert from the offensive line and senior, and he'll be out here on Tuesday night against the Alpharetta Raiders, and we'll be back after this break. Well, good afternoon, Raider fans, and we're back here with number 48, inside linebacker, senior Brooks Tilley, getting ready for the Alpharetta Raiders visit here at Raider Valley on Tuesday night. And Brooks, it's a Tuesday night game. Does that seem a little different, or just another day of playing football?
It's going to be a little weird, but hopefully, I don't think it'll affect our team at all. And I think that we just have to, we prepared all week and prepared on Saturday, Sunday. I think we've had good practices, so I'm ready to play.
And you've been practicing at the indoor soccer center over in Cobb County. I mean, has that been any different? Have you been able to get good practices in that facility?
I actually like it. I mean, I've had some good practices, so I pretty much base how I feel about a practice facility on my kind of practices. But it's been pretty cool, and it's kept us out of the rain. And we've been able to get a lot of good work done, so it's been good. Good.
49-6 last weekend against Wheeler, playing linebacker. They kept trying to run the ball up the middle. What were your thoughts at the end of that game? It's a rivalry game, but we've handled them pretty well. Just another dominating game by the defense?
Well, yeah, we look for that every game, and the linemen took a lot of those tackles, so hopefully, we can get some more this game. But, yeah, we had a really good performance, and hopefully we can keep that up because that's what we need all year, defense.
You've been a Raider for a number of years. What's your favorite Raider memory so far as a player?
Well, obviously, the game at MLK where your son kicked that field goal, it was great, and I had so much fun during that game. I mean, even though I wasn't playing, but honestly, I'm hoping to make a lot more memories this year. I don't want to leave with just that. My sophomore year, we need to make senior memories and hopefully win a state title.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 4-0. You got another big region game coming up. You get prepared for the game, and it's a Tuesday night. But what are some of the rituals that you use to get yourself prepared for a game?
Well, usually I do the same thing every week. I go to FCA, and I usually sit in there for a while. We have a really good speaker. He talks to us every week. And then I go into my locker and I start praying a little bit. Usually I'm really lighthearted before the games. I joke around and stuff. But then once about an hour before the game, I start getting pretty focused. So that's usually what I do. And I pray a lot in my locker and just stay mellow.
Well, that's a good thing to do. Those mellow linebackers who pray a lot and give you cause for a lot of concern. Talk to me about who's been the biggest influence you've had, the person who's had the most influence on you as a player.
Well, Coach Hidalgo, obviously, he's been the head coach here this year, and he's been my linebacker coach ever since I was here. So he's been great. He's given me everything I need to be a great middle linebacker, and I've learned everything I can from him. And then my dad as well. He's pushed me ever since 6th grade, and I've really gained a lot from him. He played at the University of Georgia, and he's really taught me a lot.
Have you been playing since you've been a sixth grader, or did you play before that?
Yes, sir. I started sixth grade, which was earliest I could start. So I had a lot of fun. I played Vikings in kindergarten, but I was only 1 year. And then 6th grade, I started up again.
Good. Well, that is Brooks Tilley, number 48 inside linebacker, senior for the Raiders, and getting ready here for the Alpharetta Raiders visit on Tuesday night. And Brooks, thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Tutton.
Please. As you well know, this is a make it or break it month for the automotive industry as well as America. But let me tell you, we will make it. Be American, buy American.
What about health care?
I say take care of your health. Otherwise, you can't enjoy 0% financing for 72 months or up to $16,000 off. Only at Ed Bulls Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Raider fans, we're back here with one of our Raider seniors, and we have with us number 84, Chris Mooney, who plays defensive end and H-back. And Chris, so far, a 4-0 start to the season. Must meet your expectations. I know you want to be undefeated, but how have you felt so far as the season has begun?
Really good. We're 4-0, as you said. I think we're getting better each and every week, and that's our goal. No matter who we're playing, we're trying to work on us and get better every week.
When we did the Wheeler game Friday a week ago, I think I called your name easily 10 or 15 times. Were you surprised that Wheeler just kept trying to run the ball up the middle?
I mean, I guess that was their game plan, and our game plan was to shut down the run, and I think it worked pretty effectively. I mean, we didn't give up any points. The offense gave up 6, but we did our jobs, and that's what we want to do every week. Each and every week, we want to shut out.
Good, good. Tell me a little bit about what you expect to see from Alpharetta when you're on defense this week.
Definitely a passing team. They have 2 D1 recruits at receiver and 1 AA recruited quarterback, and they're definitely going to try to throw the ball. And we're going to, on the defensive line, we're going to put pressure, and the secondary and linebackers are going to have great coverage, and we want another shutout this week.
We've asked a number of your teammates what some of their pregame rituals are. What's your particular pregame ritual?
All of it's about the same now. We all go eat pregame meal, then some of us head to FCA and hear a good speech, and then come back to the locker room, just kind of settle down. Don't want to get too riled up too early, get all the adrenaline out, but then we just kind of hang out. And then right as we start to get ready, the mood gets real serious and we all get ready to go.
Any specific music that gets played in the locker room to get the team fired up at all before the games?
Definitely some rap and rock. Nothing slow. Gotta get the adrenaline flowing as soon as it gets time to go.
Last week when you played Wheeler, you got a chance to run under Raider Valley for the first time as a senior. You'd been at the Dome, which is a great way to start the season, and then 2 away games. But as a senior, what is it like to run through the banner in front of the students?
It's great. I mean, you think about it all through middle school, all through high school, about being the big senior, about running out in Raider Valley. And we got to do it in some black jerseys. The first time the Raiders have ever worn black, and it was special to be a part of that senior group.
Do you hear the fans at all during the game?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes you can even hear a little bit of the chants, but whenever I'm on the field, it's just one big roar.
That's interesting. That's really cool. Tell me a little bit about who's had a big influence on you as a football player.
Probably the 2 most would be Coach Hidalgo and Coach Dudley. I mean, obviously, Coach Hidalgo has been here. He's been the defensive coordinator before this year, and now he's the head coach, and he's always pushed us to keep going. And Coach Dudley really taught about character and how to live up to your end of the deal and how to contribute to the team, no matter if you're starting or you're on the scout team or whatever, just to always do your best.
Did you set any specific goals for yourself as an individual player during the summer or during the spring as you headed into your senior season?
I think it was more of a team goal. I know that we all want to do really well, go win a state championship. I mean, that's our whole goal. First, we're going to try to win a region championship and then go deep into the playoffs.
Well, so far so good. 4-0 start. Lots of tackles by Mr. Mooney. We call his name frequently during the evenings. And Chris, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Raider fans, but we're back here with Keegan Kiley, senior linebacker for the Raiders. And Keegan, so far, 4-0 start to the season. The defense has been dominant in the last couple of games. What do you look for when you go out on the field this week against Alpharetta? What are you expecting?
I mean, we want nothing less than a shutout. We know they're a passing team, so we're going to need a big game from our DBs. And we want a good rush from our D-line. And, of course, we want a shutout. And we hope for the best from our D.
Now, as an outside linebacker, a lot of times you're going to be dropping back into coverage, but sometimes you get to be that guy that comes in off the corner to get that quarterback. Interception or sack, what's the bigger one for you?
Ooh, that's a good one. Interception for a touchdown.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a very good answer. And when you play a team like Alpharetta that runs a wide open offense, does your philosophy as a team tend to be drop back in coverage and keep everything in front of you, or to put pressure on that quarterback?
Yeah, I think like for the linebackers, we're looking for more pass and then work to the quarterback, work for the run. But yeah, we're basically leaving it up to the D linemen to really get a pressure on the QB and leaving it up to us to really stay back and get a good coverage going.
Good, good. You've been a Raider for a number of years. Any particular memories that stick out so far as a Raider?
I'm going to have to go with what Brooks said, is the MLK kick to win the game and rush the field. There's nothing better than that.
That was a pretty good game. I kind of remember that one too. That was kind of exciting. Tell me a little bit about people that have had a big influence on you as a player here at Walton.
Definitely my father and Coach Hidalgo. Like the other players said before, Coach Hidalgo has really pushed us to be not only a good team but a good individual player. And my father, he's always been there for me. He's always telling me to do my best and just go out there and give it my all.
Is there a linebacker that you watch on Saturday or Sundays that you try to think that you might be like?
I mean, you know, there's always Urlacher out there, or the last week when Ray Lewis got that stop to win the game
on the draw play.
Yeah, just stuff like that.
That's good. That's good. What pregame ritual do you have? We asked a bunch of your buddies. What do you like to do before a game?
I don't really have any set pregame ritual. I just go eat pregame meal, and I come back to the locker. I usually get my wrist taped before the game, and about 30 minutes or so before we go out, that's when I put on my own headphones and listen to what I want to listen to and get ready. And once we step on that field, it gets serious.
This week you had the rain. You missed a couple days of school. You're playing on a Tuesday night. I mean, at the end of the day, does it really make a difference?
At the end of the day, it doesn't, but it's going to be weird coming on a Monday, going through walkthroughs, what we usually do on a Thursday,
right,
and not having that, knowing you're going to wake up on a Saturday morning after the game. But at the end of the day, it's not going to change.
That's good. That's good. Well, folks, that's Keegan Kiley, senior linebacker number 41 for the Raiders, and we'll be back with the Rocky Hidalgo Show right after this.
Following her surgery, Margaret needed additional therapy before going home. At Manor Care, most of our patients are here for rehabilitative care, not a permanent residence. With expertise in developing personalized rehab programs, we tailor plans that achieve success. The Manor Care team helped Margaret regain her strength and worked out the details of Medicare so she could get back to the things that are really important. So choose a proven leader. Choose Manor Care.
Good afternoon, Raider fans. This is Kurt Schreiner, and I'm here with head coach Rocky Hidalgo for the second installment of the Rocky Hidalgo's Coaches Show. I like the way that sounds, Rocky. As we head into the Alpharetta game, the Raiders are 4-0, Rocky, but not a Rocky week this last week, kind of a wet week. What kind of impact do you think it's had on the boys, if any?
You know, I think in the long run, it might be good for us. We've got some guys back who were able to heal up a little bit. I think we kind of got our legs back underneath us. You know, obviously, I didn't want to play the game Friday night without any preparation. But we've gotten 4 good practices in a row, and I think we're ready to go.
And you've been practicing at one of the indoor facilities here in the county. I mean, does it restrict you at all from anything that you've wanted to do?
You know, we can't do a lot of kicking game in there. We can't throw any deep balls, but it's better than going in the gyms. Our practice fields are pudding right now. They're so wet. So we don't have a lot of options there. But we're able to go in and throw pass skeleton and throw the ball around. And I think in the long run, it's been good for us. We've been able to get a lot of good work in.
How does Raider Valley look? How's the stadium field look?
Saturday morning was in pretty good shape. We got a lot of rain Saturday night, but hopefully it'll dry out. We've got a great drainage system. We invested about $30,000 in drainage system about 8 or 9 years ago, and that helps it dry out a little bit. Right beneath the surface of the ground around here, everything is saturated. So, you know, the upper 2 inches dried out, and as soon as it rained, it just turned to mud. So we need to have some dry weather between now and the next couple of days.
Well, it looks like the weather's supposed to be nice for Tuesday evening, but Rocky, the first 3 games you played were close, very competitive games. Last Friday against Wheeler, you were able to dominate your opponent. As a coach, what does it mean to get a lot of young players into the game, into the second half of the game at Raider Valley?
Well, you know, we tell our players that they kind of owe that to those guys. You know, for the most part, we probably play 25, 26 guys, and we've got 110 guys on the team. We want them all to get out there and play. And we don't get a lot of opportunities to put all of them in, let them run around, and let their mamas watch them from up in the stands. So as a whole, we sold it to our kids who were playing that we need to go out there and play well and stick it to them early so we can get everybody in. And I think our kids went through and came through, and I think they did that for their teammates. They played well for their teammates. And that's important to me. It's important to the kids, and it's important to moms and dads. So it was a good night.
The team's 4-0. You've had a chance to see the team and to say, okay, this is we've got a really good idea of what type of team we have. What are some of the areas that have surprised you on the positive side, and what are some of the areas that, frankly, you feel like you still need to work a little bit?
Well, you know, we knew that it would kind of be a work in progress. We just weren't overly experienced. We've got some guys we're a senior-laden team, but for the most part, our seniors, most of them have not played a whole bunch. So we knew we'd kind of have to develop as the year went on. I think what you see out of us is we can really run the football. Our offensive line has developed well. Our quarterback is a playmaker. I think offensively we've got a lot of weapons on offense. And before the end of the year, I think we're going to be really exciting on offense. Defensively, I think our defensive line has played really well. I think we played well in the secondary at times. We've kind of been inconsistent there a little bit, but I think our effort has been very, very good. We just kind of have to learn our assignments and execute the defense a little better. And I think we'll have a better performance on from this point forward. I think we've got a good football team. I think defensively we're going to be a really good defensive football team at some point in time this year. We just kind of haven't clicked yet. We've been good at times, and we've been good when we needed to be good, so that's really important.
Alpharetta comes in on Tuesday night, playing on Tuesday night, but I suspect Raider Valley will feel just the same as it does on a Friday.
I hope.
But although I'm glad I'm not one of those boys that has to go to school on a Wednesday after playing in a game. But Alpharetta, pretty wide open offense, some experience at their skill positions. The boys that we interviewed earlier mentioned, Division I recruit wideouts, Division I AA recruit quarterback. What have you had to do to prepare for Alpharetta and the wide open offense they're going to bring?
We've just kind of got to do what we do. We want to pressure the quarterback. We've got to play well in secondary. I think we're good in the second. Our corners, a lot of people are going to look at and say that there's a mismatch there. Our corners aren't real tall, but I think they're good players. So I think they're going to go in there and compete. The biggest thing that we have to do, we can't give up big plays. They're going to make some plays. They've got a kid who's committed to Georgia and one committed to Wake Forest. They're going to make some plays. We've got to make sure when they make a play, it goes for 25 yards and 30 and not for 6 points. I think consistently, defensively, we can get in there. We can pressure the quarterback. I think we can get our hands on some footballs, and we've got a couple of things that we put in this week that I think give us an opportunity to maybe get some turnovers.
Rocky, you were a defensive coordinator for so long in your career, and when you have an offense like this, is it a matter of sitting back and laying back in the zone and trying to keep it in front of you? Is it putting pressure on the quarterback all the time, or is it just the mixture of the two?
You got to vary it up. For the most part, we're a zone team, but we will get in there and play some man coverage and pressure the quarterback. Irk Russell said it's a lot easier to sack a quarterback than cover the pass, and I think our philosophy here has always been let's get after the quarterback. But that's not always the best thing to do during a football game. Their offensive coaches are working hard to catch us in something, and we're working hard to catch them in something. So they're going to make some plays, and they're going to have the right call sometimes. And sometimes our players are going to have to go out there and make us look like good coaches. But the biggest thing is you just want to live to play another play, and if you can do that and not give up any long touchdowns, then you feel good about getting a stop at some point in time during the drive.
And when the Raiders are on offense, is it more of the same that we've seen the last few games? Just dominate the offensive line and just impose our will with the run?
That's how we've won football games here. We want to be physical up front. I think our passing game is really developing. We've got some good weapons out there. Joey's throwing the ball well. We kind of want to look for some opportunities to throw the ball, but we've been running the ball so well, it's kind of hard to say let's throw the ball when we're just crushing the defensive line up front. Our front is we've had some injuries up there, and some guys, Taylor Babb and Nick Redditch, have stepped right in there, and our tight end Daniel Elliott is playing great football and really controlling the edge for us. So when you've got that going on, it's hard to kind of go away from it. But we feel like we're really comfortable throwing the ball, and we feel like we're capable of doing it. I think we showed it last week. We wanted to go out and throw the ball a little more last week against Wheeler and work on our passing game, and we did that, and we're kind of excited about it. And we're going to have some opportunities up in the next 5 weeks to go out there and we play some better football teams here and there, and that we're going to have to throw the ball to win, and we feel like we're prepared to do that.
Coach, before we let you go, we had a chance to interview 6 of your young men and that are seniors right now, and going to try to interview most of the seniors during the year. They're a poised group of young men. They're very comfortable in their own skin. You can tell that. What are the types of things that you preach to them as seniors from a leadership perspective and the example that they need to set as a Raider?
Well, everybody's going to look at them, not just our football team. Everybody in the community looks at them, and they represent our school, and they represent me and their moms and dads and everything. And that's important to me. We started the True Blue program here in the spring. It's a character ed program. We want our kids to be great citizens and great sons and great students and great teammates, and in addition to being great football players. And I think they've really bought into that. One of the things we're really pushing with our kids is to shy away from drugs and alcohol, and to not only to say no to those things and step away from it, to be examples to the other kids in our community, because our kids are leaders and people will look to them. I think we have a chance to change and positively affect the people in our community. I think they've taken that and willfully taken it, and I think we're moving in the right direction in that respect.
Well, you can see those True Blue posters all over town. I saw one today at Zaxby's, and every morning when I go to Starbucks, you see those. So it's having an impact here in East Cobb. Well, Rocky, thank you. This is a wrap-up of the second edition of the Rocky Hidalgo Coaches Show. Get ready for the Raiders versus the Raiders on a special Tuesday night edition of Walton Raider Football, live from Raider Valley.
This is a place where stories get passed from one generation to the next, where meals are shared every night, and where songs are sung so off-key it makes the coyotes cry. This is the West that we know. This is Longhorn, where you can enjoy our juicy outlaw ribeye, fire-grilled to savory perfection, or try our legendary Flo's filet with signature seasonings. Always fresh, always tender. Longhorn Steakhouse. Discover the West in you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the finest place to be in Georgia on a fall evening. You're looking live at Raider Valley in Marietta, Georgia, home to the 4-0 Walton Raiders for a special Tuesday night edition of Walton Raider Football. Tonight, the Raiders look in the mirror and see another Raider. The Alpharetta Raiders come to the Raider Valley with a 2-2 record on the season and hopes of pulling the upset in a key Region 6 game tonight. Hello, my name is Kurt Schreiner, and here with Tim Burns and spotter Kirk Gadabush. And tonight, the Walton Raiders face an Alpharetta team looking for its identity. Alpharetta started the season with 2 wins over South Forsyth and Wheeler, but have dropped 2 region games in the past few weeks to Centennial and Milton. And Tim, when you look at Alpharetta, you look at an wide open offense. They're led by quarterback Justin Burns, who's committed to Delaware, and they've got 2 wide receivers who've committed to UGA and Wake Forest, and Michael Bennett and Brandon Terry. Looks like it's going to be a very wide open night tonight.
Well, should be interesting. Walton got tested pretty good in the season opener in the Georgia Dome against what I consider to be a very good wide receiver in Jeremy Davis of Norcross. And these 2 young men you just mentioned are both committed to D1 schools, and so the Walton secondary will get a pretty good test tonight. Now, the challenge, what could really help out the Walton secondary is if the down lineman can get some pressure on quarterback Justin Burns. That'll help the secondary out considerably.
Yeah, you look at the Alpharetta team. They're averaging 21 points a game. They won those first 2 games against South Forsyth and Wheeler, but they've struggled on the defensive side of the ball with 2 losses against Milton and Centennial, as we mentioned, and they've given up 30 and 35 points in both of those games. As you can see now, the captains are out on the field for the Raiders. Number 63, Kyle Woestman. Number 27, Andrew Lipsy. Number 16, senior quarterback Joey Windler. And number 48, Brooks Tilley. Captains for the other Raiders, Derek Balcour, number 35, number 54, George Monroe, number 14, their quarterback, Justin Burns, and number 18, Michael Bennett, the wide receiver. Your officials tonight are, your referee is Tony Lay. Your umpire is Brian Bogner. Philip Haynes is your linesman. Line judge is Mickey Sitton. Quentin Hughley is your side judge. Field judge is Fred Banks. And Bill Wilkinson is your clock operator tonight here for this special edition of Tuesday Night Football on Raider Vision Gamecast. Well, the Raiders are lining up behind the banner, but the captains are in place now, and the Alpharetta Raiders are going to receive, and Walton will kick off to start this game. You know, when you look at Walton right now, the Raiders come in on an offensive roll. Last week against Wheeler, they racked up 415 yards of total offense and a 49-6 victory after nearly 500 yards in the win against Campbell the week before. And, Tim, here come the Raiders in their more traditional blue-on-blue home uniform. Used the black jerseys the other night against Wheeler, but here we have that normal Walton Raider look tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to seeing. That the black that they snuck in there last week actually looked pretty good. I was I'm typically not in favor of the black uniforms, when they're not part of that team's color scheme, but those black jerseys look pretty sharp, and I'm sure Coach Hidalgo will reserve the black jerseys for special games. It was the home opener for Walton last week, so that being the reason for the black jerseys, but the blue on blue, the more traditional Walton look that you referred to.
Well, tonight, when you look at the Raiders on the defensive side of the ball, the front four is going to be key. Chris Mooney and Kyle Woestman are going to need to pressure that quarterback Burns for a Walton win. And, in today's Marietta paper, it talked about those very tall wide receivers for Alpharetta against our defensive backs. But if you look at how our backs have played on the defensive side, well, they might be a little small, a little short. They have been real ball-hawking defensive backs.
Absolutely. They've grown up quick this season. Had a tough matchup in the opener, like I mentioned, against Jeremy. I believe it's Jeremy Davis of Norcross, an outstanding wide receiver for the Norcross Blue Devils. And, the Walton secondary held their own in that game. And, they'll get tested tonight for sure with all three of these guys, the quarterback and the two receivers, committed to, two of them to D1 schools and then the quarterback to a 1AA. But they will certainly get tested.
Holden Fender, the kicker for Walton, the sophomore, number 94. And here's his boot deep. And we've got some whistles here to start the game. It looks like we have a flag down on the 40-yard line where the Raiders were lined up. It might be an offsides against Walton. Deep to receive, number 81, Carlos Burst, and number 18, Michael Bennett for Alpharetta. And, folks, we're going to be saying Raiders, and we'll try to make sure we distinguish between an Alpharetta Raider and a Walton Raider. But the other good side of that, Tim, is we can't be wrong tonight.
That is true.
So we back it up 5 yards to the 35. Holden Fender had his debut as a Raider last week against Wheeler. We mentioned he's a sophomore. He is a member of the Walton soccer team. And his opening kickoff last week, I think, Tim, you said almost went through the goalposts.
Just about kicked a field goal. You're right. Now he's got to kick it from 5 yards deeper now.
Bit of a knuckleball handled by Bennett at the 15-yard line by Alpharetta. He's got a big hole. He's up to the 30. He's over the 40-yard line. Matt LaMontagne knocks him out of bounds at the Raider 46. So a bit of a short kick there by Fender, a bit of a knuckleball picked up by Bennett on the run at the 15-yard line, and he returns it out over the 50 to the Raiders 46. 40-yard return, and here we get a look at this high-powered offense led by quarterback Justin Burns. Not related to you, is he, Tim?
No relation that I know of.
All right, we'll want to make sure. So Alpharetta comes out with trips to the right, Burns in the backfield with a lone setback, one wide receiver to the left. Quick pitch outside to number 4, running back James Mincy. And he picks up good yardage on what looked like a play where the Raiders might have had Mincy caught in the corner.
Yeah, I realize we're only a few seconds into this game, Kurt, but so far it seems like the Walton Raiders are a little bit asleep. The offsides on the first kickoff, the big wide open field on the kickoff return, and now this first carry for 9 yards by Alpharetta. The Walton Raiders need to wake up.
2nd and 1 with Alpharetta once again in that spread set, but this time to the left. Quick pass to number 18, Bennett. He's got room. He's out over the 30, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 26-yard line by number 14, junior Matt LaMontagne, the cornerback there on the right side of the field. That's a first down for Alpharetta. Now our PA announcer says that number 4 is Mikhail Abdul-Sabur. We'll double check on that. Dan Collins is rarely wrong, so we're going to go with Dan's call. Pass is incomplete by Alpharetta, number 6.
That's, I believe, who it is.
Yeah,
he was the quarterback last year,
exactly.
I believe.
So James Mincy is number 4, and number 6 is Mikhail Abdul-Sabor. So the rosters have been cleaned up here, and we'll keep that straight the rest of the night. So that brings up 2nd down and 10 for Alpharetta. Ball at the 26-yard line. Sabor with backs on either side of him. He heads up the middle. He breaks one tackle, and he's tackled by a gang of Raiders. Tackled by Woestman and number 20, Jacob Blazer.
And number 20, Jacob Blazer. 1 yard gain, 3rd down, 3rd and 9.
So that's a 1 yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 9 for Alpharetta. Abdul-Sabor faked that handoff to Bennett and then just went up the middle on a bit of a delayed quarterback draw. Only picked up 1 yard for Alpharetta. Alpharetta in that spread formation. Handoff to Mincy. No, but it's a pitch. Pitch by the quarterback to Michael Bennett. And Bennett is tackled at the 30-yard line for a 5-yard loss.
Well, we talked about this secondary and how they were going to get tested tonight and how they've kind of grown up a bit this season. That was Matt LaMontagne coming in to make the stop and force a 4th and long for Alpharetta.
So 4th down and 14, the ball is at the 29-yard line. The only person fooled on that fake handoff and pitch was me. Luckily, our Raider defense was not. Abdul-Sabor in the backfield. He's standing on the 34-yard line. He's got a 4th down and long here. Throws it deep downfield, jump ball, and it's thrown over the head of the wide receiver. Number 80, Brandon Terry. Matt LaMontagne on the coverage. Looked like what the Alpharetta Raiders were doing there is just going to throw a jump ball, use that height advantage, but the pass sailed long, and the Raiders take over on downs. Pretty good defensive start after a little bit of a shaky first 2 or 3 downs.
Well, I said they needed to wake up, and they might have heard me because they woke up pretty quickly after that. Walton made some good defensive stops on that drive. You're right, after giving up big yardage on the first 2 or 3 plays.
Voister at tailback, Windler at quarterback. And we'll get the rest of the wide receivers in the offensive set here. Windler hands off to Kyle Vorster. He's over the 30-yard line. Churning hard. He picks up another 5 or 6 yards. And it looks like he's going to have the first down just shy of the 40-yard line.
Vorster comes into the game averaging 7.1 yards per carry and did nothing to hurt that average on that first one, picking up 10 and a Walton first down.
Tackle by number 49, Reynolds, on that last play. Andrew Lipsy here close to us. Gazebue and Vorster in the backfield. Braylon Williams. I will not call him Braylon Edwards tonight, I promise. Toss sweep to Gazebue, and he is going to be wrapped up and tackled by number 2, Gregory Jester. Jester came in off the corner and made an immediate tackle there on Rodney.
Yeah, real good stop by Jester on that play. Just kind of stayed in his zone and was right there waiting on Gazebue when he tried to turn the corner.
Yeah, Tim, you really get the sense tonight that Walton wants to control the ball on the ground, use up clock, not let this Alpharetta offense beat them with big plays, these one-and-done types of long plays.
Well, that's their game, that ball control offense.
Windler with a quick pass over to Williams. Williams catches it over the 45 and almost up to midfield. He's knocked out of bounds at the 47. Tackled by number 2, Gregory Jester again, and number 10, Cedric Howard. Tonight our spotter is Kirk Gadabush, and you will hear him next week or in our next broadcast against Lassiter when Tim will take over the play-by-play and Kirk will do color, and yours truly, Kurt Schreiner, will be on a fishing trip. So Vorster in the backfield behind Windler. 2 receivers to the right. Williams, the lone receiver to the left. 3rd down and 3 for Walton. Windler reverses out under center. Some penetration there by the Alpharetta Raiders made Windler take a couple of steps deeper, and by then the pursuit caught him, and no first down for Walton.
Well, this will force a punting situation for Walton. So neither team able to do anything with their opening possession. We'll see if Walton's defense can keep up the good effort they started with that first Alpharetta possession.
Nakai Poole back deep to punt for the Raiders, standing on his own 34-yard line. Bennett and Burst deep for Alpharetta. It's an end-over-end punt. It's going to bounce and roll down to about the 17, 16-yard line. Still rolling, still rolling. And it's finally down at the 16-yard line.
That ball took a nice Walton bounce. It bounced away from the dangerous return men of Alpharetta, and Orrin Whitaker had to do a little dance around the football not to touch it down too early. He wanted to get as much roll out of that ball as he could.
It was almost a 40-yard punt after the roll, so good turnover in possession there. So Alpharetta comes out now with Justin Burns back at quarterback, Tim, and two receivers right, two receivers left. Alpharetta on their own 16-yard line. Here's a quick screen, almost picked off by Matt LaMontagne.
Wow. We might, if we can, get a replay. That was ball looked like it might have been tipped right as it was thrown. And then you're right. Looked like it almost came into the arms of Matt LaMontagne.
Oh, it was thrown behind the receiver, and Matt was there and almost picked that one off. So we've got three receivers to the left, one to the right. Just in case your quarterback, Justin Burns, your quarterback. Out wide to number 18, Bennett. Matt LaMontagne with the tackle. That's going to be a loss of almost 5 yards for Alpharetta. Brings up third down and almost 15 yards, maybe 16.
Well, they completed the pass, but you're right. Great play by Matt LaMontagne. Stepped up there, made the tackle for a 4-yard loss. And just watching him play, Walton defensive coaches have got to be glad they've got him around for another year.
Yeah, he's a terrific player. And tonight, he comes out here. A lot of people saying, "Oh, you're too short. How can you cover these tall guys?" He's like, "Hey, I'm here to play," and he's shown it so far earlier in this game. So Burns back to pass, pressure by the Raiders. He's going to be sacked by number 57. Chris Boardman for the Raiders.
Well, we talked about that in the pregame, Kurt. Walton, the defensive front, had to get some pressure on Justin Burns, and they did just that right there. Nice stop that time.
Chris Boardman with great pressure, flushed out Burns, and forces a punting situation here. C.J. Cochran, number 22, the punter for the Alpharetta Raiders. He's standing almost on his goal line. His heels are on his own goal line. Decent snap, and the punt's away. End-over-end punt. Caught by Williams at the 48-yard line. Fakes the reverse. He's got a wall to his left. He may go all the way. Oh, we're going to have a penalty flag down on the play. It's going to negate that run back.
Number 1, Braylon Williams takes the football.
2 flags on the play.
There are, however, flags on the play.
Didn't see what happened on either one of those flags, but I saw Orrin Whitaker on his rear end when the first flag got thrown, so I don't know if that'll be against the Raiders or not. The official seems to be pointing towards Walton.
Williams took the football to the 7-yard line.
Williams took that ball and faked the handoff on the reverse, and when he got over to the left side of the field, there was nothing but a wall there for him.
I hope it wasn't that first block that they threw a flag on, because that block looked like it was clean. Looked like the Walton player got the Alpharetta player right in the side.
Well, 2 flags down, and large huddle of players and referees at the 20-yard line mulling over the decision that has to be made. 6:08 left here in the first quarter. Raiders nothing. Raiders nothing.
I'm sorry, Kurt. They didn't invite any Walton Raiders to that party. That's all Alpharetta Raiders and officials over there.
All right, well, here we come with our call by the referee. Our referee tonight, as I said earlier, Tony Lay from the Atlanta Area Football Association. Okay, now we've got number 16, Joey Windler, out. We may have, offsetting penalties here, Tim.
We're asking for the Walton captain. That's Joey Windler.
Punt return, I hear the coaches yelling, so it looks like it's going to be that infamous do-over.
And we don't even have a jumbotron hanging from midfield.
You know, you got to think Alpharetta gets the better end of that deal right now. The Raiders would have had the ball almost inside the 20-yard line. It looked like where Williams got pushed out of bounds.
Penalties on the punt, so it looks like we'll be punting again.
Alpharetta to punt again. C.J. Cochran, their punter, number 22. Raider fans, tonight we have a special feature. If you are logged in and listening to us live on the internet tonight, you can chat with Tim Burns during the broadcast if you have any questions. Tim is here to answer anything that may come up. He handles all the tough questions. Lipsy and Williams deep for Walton. Cochran to punt the ball for Alpharetta. Snap is away. This punt is a spinner off to the right-hand side. It bounces at the 40. Going to get a bit of an Alpharetta bounce, and it's going to be downed at the 42-yard line. Raiders in great field position to start their second possession. 5:56 left in the first quarter. Walton will take over at the 43-yard line.
First and 10, Alpharetta's 43-yard line.
Walton seems to be winning the battle of field possession early on here. Let's see what they can do starting in Alpharetta territory now at the 43-yard line.
Windler under center, Gazebue and Vorster in the backfield. Patrick Cosgrove to your right, Williams to your left. Raiders set up in their traditional offensive formation. Alpharetta in its 4-3 defense. Cosgrove in motion. And we have another flag, and that might be too much time by the Walton Raiders.
Flags on the play. Don't forget to get the Walton Band 50-50 raffle tickets tonight. One lucky winner gets half of all the money collected. And money rolled over from our last game against New York.
Dead ball foul, illegal motion by the Raiders, so it'll still set them back 5 yards. The ball will move back to the 48-yard line. It'll be first down and 15.
First down, first and 15, Walton Raiders.
Don't know if that was one of our linemen or a wide receiver, but one of the Raiders left a little early. Tonight, special feature at halftime tonight, it's homecoming here at Walton. So Tim and I will go from our football mode into homecoming court mode and give you a chance to see all the Walton homecoming court this evening. Windler back to pass, gets Cosgrove at the 44-43 yard line, and he's tackled there after a 5-yard gain.
Stop made by number 88 for Alpharetta, Samuel Rego.
Number 88, Samuel Rego, on the tackle for Alpharetta, moves the Walton back out towards the original line of scrimmage.
Second and 10 for the Walton Raiders.
Second and 10. Raiders in a split backfield, Gazebue and Vorster. Williams left, Lipsy to the right. Inside handoff to Vorster. Running hard, he picks up 3-4 yards. It's going to bring up a third down and 6 for the Raiders. Good tough yardage there by Vorster. Hole didn't quite open up the way they hoped for, Tim.
Well, I figured Walton would continue their dominance in the trenches, and tonight it's been a little tough going against that Alpharetta defensive front. They're doing a good job over there on that Alpharetta side.
Alpharetta's big up front. They look like they're big and they're physical, and this is something that the Raiders are going to have to adjust to. Offensive line, defensive line, the last few weeks we have been dominant. Brings up third down and 6. Windler back to pass. He gets a wide open tight end, wide receiver number 93, Daniel Elliott. Tackled by number 35, Derek Balcar.
Now we're going to get a replay here. You'll watch Elliott stay in the block for just a minute and then release. Look at that. Right over the middle, makes the catch, holds on to the football, protects it, and picks up a first down for Walton.
It doesn't matter what level of football you play, Tim, college, pros, and even in high school, a reliable tight end on third down is money. You think about some of the great ones that over the years, and nice play by Daniel Elliott there, pick up the first down for Walton. Handoff to Vorster, tries to bounce it outside, penalty flag. That's in that dreaded holding zone. And it is holding against Walton. And that's going to knock Walton back into a 1st and almost 20 situation.
A lot of penalties so far in this early going. Started with the opening kickoff and hasn't really let up since.
Number 93, Mark Neal for Alpharetta, is putting a lot of pressure on the offensive line right now. He had good pressure there on Windler on that quick pass to Elliott. And when you've got a big mobile defensive lineman who can really clog up the middle, the Falcons ran into a little bit of that this week with New England. If you can't get that push up front, that just changes everything for your team. And Mark Neal is definitely playing that role right now for Alpharetta.
10-yard penalty against the Raiders moves the football back outside the 30-yard line.
So Cosgrove and Lipsy come in. It'll be first down and
20.
First down and about 20 yards to go for the Raiders, for Walton. Joey Windler over for a quick word with number 1, Braylon Williams. Probably giving him the advice, Braylon, run downfield, turn around, and catch it in the end zone for a touchdown.
That would be good advice.
That would be very good advice. Windler in the shotgun. Delay a game against the Raiders pushes them back another 5 yards, so we're now looking for our first down and 25-yard play. Ball on the 36-yard line.
5-yard delay of game penalty against the Raiders moves the football back to the 36-yard line. First down Raiders, football on the 36.
Austin Haygood in for the Raiders, number 27, Lipsy, Williams. We have 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Windler in a shotgun by himself. Ball on the 36-yard line for Walton. First down and 25. Windler runs a quarterback draw. Great block up the middle. Tackle by number 35, Balcar.
Quarterback, number 16, Joey Windler keeps the football. Nice block by 59, Drew Dalton. Stopped on the play by 35, Derek Balcar for Alpharetta.
Dalton with a beautiful block. I don't know if we have a replay of that one or not, Pete, but Windler fakes the pass and then does the quarterback draw, and a terrific block on one of the linebackers right next to the referee. Great block. Springs Windler for another 10 yards.
Good block and a nice cut back up inside by Windler. Once again, getting closer to that original line of scrimmage.
Second down and 12. Ball on the 25-yard line for the Raiders. Windler in the shotgun again. Gazebo and Vorster. Pass and, caught by Patrick Cosgrove on the bounce.
Pass is complete, number 4.
Well, we're gonna work the replay overtime tonight. I can already tell that's one you got to see again. Look at the concentration by Cosgrove. Plucks it right out of the air after it bounces up off his chest.
Joey Windler throws a bullet there. That was a fastball. So it's first and goal. Ball at the 10-yard line for Walton. Gazebo and Vorster in split backs behind Windler. Windler keeps it, turns up inside, and gains 3. But on that play, Tim, right there, you can see Mark Neal, number 93, got immediate pressure in that guard center gap, and Joey's having to belly back a couple of steps. And on that play, that makes all the difference in the world.
Yep, and Neal got a hold of Windler's jersey and just would not let go. And Joey just couldn't break free. Nice play by Neal.
So it brings up second down and goal, the ball at the 7-yard line. Vorster, the tailback, behind Joey Windler. Windler over to his left side, hands off to Vorster. There's a bit of a hole there for a moment, but he's only going to pick up 2 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 5 at the 5-yard line.
Stop on the play by number 14.
Well, Walton wants to get a touchdown here. Field goals aren't going to win you many ball games. So this is a big play for the Walton offense here, 3rd and goal from the 5.
Tim, I was looking at the statistics this afternoon, and the Raiders have not kicked a field goal yet this season. Need to come away with some points here.
They've attempted field goals.
They have attempted field goals, have not converted a field goal. So it's 3rd down and goal at the 5-yard line. Gazebo behind Windler. Looks like Lipsy in motion. Windler rolls to his right. He's being chased. Throws a bullet into the end zone. And it's a touchdown, Walton Raiders. Number 4, Patrick Cosgrove on the pass from quarterback Joey Windler for a 5-yard touchdown.
Boy, Windler really threaded that in there, and Cosgrove did just enough to break the plane. Watch this replay. Windler's standing right on the goal line when he catches the football. And look at, or Cosgrove rather, and look at Windler threaded in there. Now, if we had instant replay for the officials, they might want to take another look at that. We don't have that in high school. Got a player down for Alpharetta. That's number 6, Michael Abdul Sabor.
You know, every now and then replay is a nice thing, but then every now and then it's not a nice thing. I think we're glad we don't have replay here tonight. It was close. It reminds you of that Steelers-Ravens play last year with the ball where the point of the ball was over. But I think from our replay, the referees got it right, Tim. Touchdown, Walton Raiders.
Well, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it.
1 minute and 3 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Big round of applause for number 6, Mikel Abdul-Sabor.
You know, one thing that needs to be said every Friday night that we come out here to Raider Valley and other things, you know, there's been articles written about it in the newspaper, but it's harder and harder to find referees who are willing to give their time and dedicate their time. And, you know, week in and week out, the officiating is just fine and doesn't really intrude on the game too much. And, you know, here's a situation where, you know, close play, looked like in the replay, right call. Good for the referees, good for the Raiders.
94, Holden Fender.
Holden Fender in to kick the extra point for the Raiders. Ball spins through the uprights for a extra point for the Walton Raiders. So your score with 1:03 left in the first quarter, Walton Raiders 7, Alpharetta Raiders nothing. You're watching Raider football live on Raider Vision Gamecast. Well, hopefully we can keep those Raider boys in good shape tonight. Here's their first 7 push-ups of the night. The Raider boys, a big Walton tradition. Definitely a badge of honor to be a Raider boy.
Tell you what, by the end of the season, that G right there is going to be probably about 20 pounds heavier up front, up top. Keeps doing those push-ups.
That's part of Coach Murphy's wrestling preseason practice. All right, Holden Fender, number 94, sophomore kicker for Walton, ready to have his second kickoff of the night.
Here we go, Walton Raider fans. Everybody up for the
Bennett and Carlos burst deep for the Alpharetta Raiders. Bennett returned the first kickoff up to almost the 50-yard line, past the 50-yard line for Alpharetta. Here's a deep kick, end-over-end kick. It's going to be handled by Bennett on the 4. Bennett out over the 15. He finds a seam there, but he is tackled immediately by number 82, John Figueroa.
13-yard return for number 14, Justin Burns.
Very nice play on special teams. Came out of nowhere. And looked like Bennett might have had a chance to get up the sideline.
There was another crease there on the left side, but Figueroa closed that hole quickly. Only a 14-yard return, and Alpharetta takes over with Justin Burns at quarterback and his receivers Terry and Bennett. Terry wide to the left, trips to the right. And Justin Burns, your quarterback for Alpharetta. First down and 10, ball on the 18-yard line. Here's a quick pitch out to number 4. He reverses his field. People looking to pick up a block. Matt LaMontagne breaks it up again. Tackle by number 57, Chris Boardman. LaMontagne breaks it up.
Boy, I tell you what, James Mency turned what could have been a very, very negative play for Alpharetta into a positive. Good athletic play that time by James Mency. And as you pointed out, Kurt, good job by the Walton defense to limit it from being even worse.
Yeah, sometimes you find these guys that don't stay home. They run around, and all of a sudden you reverse field, and you've got a big play. Yeah, one thing, Tim, when you look at Burns, the quarterback, when he runs in that motion, it looks like he's going to pitch the whole way. I don't think he's going to run that ball too much. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. And that's the end of the first quarter, according to the clock. The referee hasn't noticed it yet. Long pass downfield. Almost intercepted by number 14, Matt LaMontagne. Pass intended for number 80, Brandon Terry.
Broken up by number 14, Matt LaMontagne, as the first quarter comes to an end.
You know, when you look at those long passes with Terry's height advantage, you have to underthrow that ball, not overthrow the ball. You got to underthrow it, let Terry come back to the ball, and just make it a jump ball. But here at the end of the first quarter, your score, Walton Raiders 7, Alpharetta Raiders 0. You're watching Raider Vision Gamecast.
The Kmart Shopping Center. It's a casual place.
And welcome back to Raider Valley. Beginning of the second quarter with Walton leading 7-0 over the Alpharetta Raiders. Walton on a 5-yard pass from Joey Windler to Patrick Cosgrove, the only score in the game. Tim, impressions of the first quarter?
Well, slow start for both teams. Walton seems to have gotten the advantage in field position, and that helped him get that last touchdown starting in Alpharetta territory. And Walton throwing the football a lot more than I expected. I thought they would just grind it out on the ground, try to keep that dangerous Alpharetta passing offense off the field, but Walton's been chucking it around a little bit themselves.
3rd and 9 for Alpharetta, the ball at the 19-yard line, their own 19-yard line. 3 receivers right. Justin Burns back to pass. Good pressure by number 63, Kyle Woestman, and it's intercepted and picked off.
Interception, Walton Raiders,
Number 21, intercepted by the Raiders, Justin Shamaria.
Well, we've talked a lot about Matt LaMontagne and what a great job he's done in the secondary this year. Can't forget about Shamaria. He's done an outstanding job himself, and good play on that ball by Shamaria to get it right back to the Walton offense.
You know, Kyle Woestman came barreling right up the middle of the field. Made a big hit on Burns as Burns released it. The ball got way up in the air, a bit of a floater. So that's what the Raiders wanted to do. They wanted to get pressure with that front 4. You get that with Woestman, your senior captain. And then Shamaria makes the great interception. Terrific catch. You know, a couple years ago we had a pair of small cornerbacks with Billy Burns and Robert Harrison, and they picked everything that came their way. And Shamaria and LaMontagne remind me a lot of that Burns-Harrison combination, and that's high praise.
Oh, you're right. Billy Burns playing minor league baseball. Harrison up there at Tennessee Chattanooga. Harrison had that outstanding junior year.
He was the leading interceptor. There's a handoff to Forster up the middle, and very little ground there to be gained.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage by number 54, George Monroe for Alpharetta.
Yeah, the Raiders are going to keep pounding that ball in the middle, Tim, but at the same time, you know, they've had their opportunities more on the outside, getting away from that big defensive line that Alpharetta has out there right now.
Having a tough time getting any initial push on that D-line of Alpharetta.
You know, when you look at it, it's the Neal brothers. It looks like it's Mark Neal and Malin Neal are the 2 big defensive tackles for Alpharetta. And that ball is caught. That play we have to see, Pete,
yeah,
because...
Pete, sorry, Pete. We're not trying to work you to death over there. It's just, I don't know how he caught that ball.
Some way, somehow.
Look at like it might have bounced off the waist of the defender, right back into his hands.
3rd and less than a yard for the Walton Raiders.
3rd down and 1 for Walton. The ball at the 41-yard line. 11-11 here in the second quarter. There was that play the other night in the Cowboys-Giants game where the ball bounced off the receiver, but back into for the interception. But this case, the other way around, and Joey Windler with the quarterback sneak picks up the first down for Walton.
Joey Windler keeps the football.
Windler's a big quarterback. He's a strong quarterback. When it's 3rd down and 1, just push forward and get the first down. Don't do anything fancy. Could you get us the offensive line's number so we can just read off the offensive lineman? So Raiders 1st and 10 ball at the 39-yard line in Alpharetta territory. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Gazebo in motion to the left. Windler turns, hands off to Vorster. Vorster has the corner. He's at the 40, up to the 35. Hit hard and tackled by number 6, Mikhail Abdul-Sabor, who's back in the game after that injury that he had. Pick up of 4 or 5 yards for Vorster, which is probably our biggest gain of the night so far, but a little bit of room out there in the corner, Tim.
Vorster did have that one 10-yard pickup on the opening drive, but other than that, you're right.
That's right.
That's been the biggest ground gainer other than that 10-yard.
That's right, the first play that he had the ball. I forgot about that one. So here we go, pro set, two wide receivers right and left. Windler turns, handoff inside to Vorster, big hole. Vorster at the 25 out to the 21-yard line before he is tripped up by number 6, Mikhail Abdul-Sabor again. Faked the pitch to Gazebo, turned around, handed it off to Vorster inside.
Well, that fake really got the Alpharetta defense leaning to the left and opened up a big hole up the middle for Vorster and a touchdown-saving tackle by Mikhail Abdul-Sabor.
That's a timeout by the Alpharetta Raiders. The offensive line up there right now is pushing very, very hard for the Raiders. Drew Dalton, number 59, a senior. Number 61, Nick Redditch, a junior. 63, Kyle Woestman, our senior captain. Taylor Babb, number 66, a senior. And Oliver Kramer, number 67, along with number 93, tight end Daniel Elliott. Daniel with the good catch. But, all of a sudden that momentum shift takes place. We're getting a little bit of a push. Run one on the outside, then come back inside with a counter. Excellent push by the offensive line. Hey, the Raiders have ball 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line, looking for another score.
Make sure you see that. Concession stands are open. Get there early and back to your seats.
This has got to be one of the strangest starts to a season I can remember. Walton, last week when we were here, opened their season at home in the 4th game of the season, having the home opener, and now having homecoming on a Tuesday night. It's got to be one of the most unusual things. But if we were going to have some torrential downpours and some flooding, couldn't have happened at a better time scheduling-wise with all the Region 6 teams being off this coming weekend.
Yeah, Pope and Kell play tonight. We'll try to get that score for you later on. 1st and 10 Raiders at the 21, Alpharetta 21-yard line. I formation behind Windler. Lipsy and Williams to the left. Handoff to Vorster up the middle. He picks up 3 or 4 yards. Tackled there by number 93 by Alpharetta. Mark Neal.
Stop made by number 2, Gregory Jester. And number 11, Rashad.
Somebody has posted on the online chat that Pope's leading Kell 7-0. Not sure if that's accurate or not. We hope so.
Yeah, I walked down in the field earlier today, Tim, and right now the field is not wet, but it's squishy. There's no water and there's no ponding or anything. But if you're there and you push your hand down or you put weight on your foot, water does come up out of the bottom, out of the mud. But it looks okay. So 2nd down, handoff to Vorster. He finds running room out over the 15 to the 14-yard line. Bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Stop by number 4, James Mincy for Alpharetta.
Now, when I say I hope the score's right, I wasn't trying to pick sides there. I was just saying I hope that the accuracy of our online chatters was correct.
And our spotter, Kirk Gadbush, says it's Marlins 1-0 over the Braves in the bottom of the 3rd. Windler on the keeper, and he is hammered down.
16, Joey Windler.
That was James Mincy on the tackle. He's the one that's been doing a lot of the damage on the ground for Alpharetta offensively and just made a real nice tackle on Joey Windler on the defensive side.
So the Raiders are going to attempt a field goal. This field goal will be 31 yards, 32 yards by sophomore number 94, Holden Fender.
Into the game, 94, Holden Fender.
Fender, a left-footed kicker. Lipsy to hold. That kick is up, and that kick is no good. Boy, it looked good. I thought it was through.
Sure did look good. He must have just missed it.
Kick is no good. Football goes over to Alpharetta.
So Walton comes away with no points.
You know, Holden has just started kicking the last couple of weeks. It's not easy to do. I think a lot of people sit there and go, it's not that far. Just put it through there. But the snap and the hold, that one looked like it just went a little bit to the left. I almost called it good. So Alpharetta will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Abdul Sabor in at quarterback now. Bennett and Mincy, the backs on either side of Sabor. He keeps it. He runs up the middle. He's got a big hole. He's out over the 30-yard line. He's got plenty of ground. It's in a foot race. He may go all the way. He's at the 40, the 30, pushed out of bounds by Jacob Blazer.
Number 6, quarterback.
At the 15-yard line. Huge 65-yard gain for Abdul Sabor on the quarterback keeper.
Well, before the ball was snapped, I was about to question the decision there, switching back and forth with the quarterbacks, but I guess I won't do that now. Looks like a good decision on the part of the Alpharetta coaching staff.
First down and 10 for Alpharetta at the Walton 15-yard line. Sabor in at quarterback. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. Sabor hands off into the middle of the line, and it picks up about 5 yards. Number 35, Orrin Whitaker on the tackle for the Raiders. Kwame Larby, the carrier for Alpharetta, picks up 5, makes it 2nd down and 5, ball at the 10-yard line, and Alpharetta knocking hard on the Walton Raiders goal line. Sabor keeping it, coming towards the sideline. He's going to run it, and he is tackled after a first down. He's tackled at the 3 or 4 yard line by number 27, Lipsy.
Well, I tell you what, coming away with no points on that last drive really, really hurts, and it's starting to look like it might hurt even more here in just a minute.
Number 41, Keegan Kiley, just into the game for the Raiders. Replacing number 12, Zach Rattlehuber. It's 1st and goal for the Alpharetta Raiders, ball at the 3 yard line. Two tight ends. They've got a jumbo set in there. It looks like they're in the old wishbone set with number 54 as your blocking back. Hands off up the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Alpharetta Raiders.
Well, I tell you what, Alpharetta came in here tonight, and they look like they are absolutely unfazed by Walton's homecoming night, the 4-0 record. They're going to play them toe-to-toe all night long. Walton's going to have to come up with some big plays.
Number 35, Derek Balcar on the touchdown for the Alpharetta Raiders. Derek also the inside linebacker for Alpharetta. Alpharetta just kind of lined up in the old wishbone formation, just ran right at Walton. Extra point looks to be good. So, with 6:43 left here in the second quarter, Walton Raiders 7, Alpharetta Raiders 7. We'll be back with the kickoff.
Once again, tonight is homecoming here in Raider Valley.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Tutton.
Please. As you well know, this is a make it or break it month for the automotive industry as well as America. But let me tell you, we will make it. Be American, buy American.
What about health care?
I say take care of your health. Otherwise, you can't enjoy 0% financing for 72 months or up to $16,000 off. Only at Ed Bulls Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Back here at Raider Valley, Kurt Schreiner and Tim Burns with the score 7-7 with 6:43 left in the first half. Alpharetta went down the field quickly with the long 65-yard run by their quarterback, Abdul Sabor. 4 plays later, I believe, Derek Balcar into the end zone for the touchdown for Alpharetta to tie the game at 7-7. Number 22, C.J. Cochran, the quarterback. You can tell by the way he has the ball set up, this looks like it's going to be a short type of pooch kick. Cochran kicking from the left hash. Williams and LaMontagne deep for the Raiders. I wonder if the ball's going to get that far, and it is a short kick. Turn around, boys. Don't let that ball hit the ground.
I wonder if these guys realize that's a live ball. It could ultimately just turn into a long onside kick.
You know, it's a play that you'll see in college from time to time with the deep kickoffs now in college, where they'll hit that little sand wedge and let the coverage try to run down under it and recover it, and that almost happened for Alpharetta on that play. You know, if you're one of those kickoff return guys, you cannot turn and run until that ball actually goes past you. And you can't sit there and turn and run before the ball gets past you. Otherwise, they're just going to drop one in behind you. So the Raiders take over, first down and 10, the ball at their own 35-yard line. Windler hands off to Vorster. Vorster pushing, grinding away. He's going to pick up almost 5 yards on that carry. 5 very tough yards. It'll be second down and 5 ball at the 40-yard line for Walton Raiders.
Got a change in the Pope-Kell score. It's Pope 14, Kell nothing now. Appreciate the chatter for keeping us up to date on the scores.
We know we have one viewer. Always good to know. Windler turns and hands off again to Vorster on the counter play. Alpharetta acting like the ball is fumbled. Number 54 for Alpharetta's George Monroe. George was one of the players of the week last week for Alpharetta. Brings up third down and 6.
Looked like there was a little extra stuff going on after the tackle, and the officials just standing right there, just kind of let it go.
Third down and 6 for Walton. Gazebo and Vorster in the backfield. Williams to the left. 2 receivers to the right. Windler drops back to pass. Caught by Patrick Cosgrove in the middle of the field. A gain of about 10 yards. It'll be a first down for the Raiders. Ball up to the 47-yard line.
Boy, if you didn't know anything about either of these two teams coming into this game, just watching the game tonight, you'd think Walton was the one with the dangerous passing attack. They're more known for the ground game, and Alpharetta with the 2 Division I receivers and the quarterback committed to Delaware. You wouldn't know by watching this game.
Windler had 2 receivers there. He had Gazebo open in the flat, and he threw a rifle shot right into the hole to Cosgrove. Windler keeps on that play. He's going to pick up 3 yards. It'll bring up second down and 7 for the Raiders. Ball at the Alpharetta Raider 44-yard line.
Stopped by 54, George Monroe. And
Monroe, the tackle again for Alpharetta, number 54. Tough yards inside for the Raiders tonight for Walton, but they continue to grind it away there, and I think that they'll pay dividends later in the game, Tim.
Try to wear down that defensive front of Alpharetta.
Patrick, handoff inside to Vorster. He spins, grinds it away again, picks up another 3 yards. It'll bring up a third down and 4. That quick little counter trap inside for the Raiders. Dalton and Jester on the tackle for Alpharetta. Third down and 4 for Walton.
Third down and 4 for the Walton Raiders. Football on the 41.
Still early, a lot of football to play here tonight, but that does not look like a 500 football team out there, Alpharetta.
Number 54, once again on the tackle, George Monroe. Loss of 2 yards on the handoff to Kyle Vorster. And that's going to bring in the Walton Raider punt team. Yeah, the big defensive linemen, Tim, are allowing those linebackers to roam free and range free for Alpharetta. And they're very short tacklers, and they're very aggressive tacklers.
Yep, they're occupying the blocks of the Walton offensive linemen, you're right, and that frees up the linebackers to come in and make all those tackles.
3:27 left here in the first half. Nakai Poole punting for the Raiders. The ball sitting on the 43-yard line.
And number 18, Michael Bennett.
End-over-end kick. Fair catch by Bennett at the 15-yard line. So a 29-yard punt for Walton, and it'll bring up first down and 10 for the Alpharetta Raiders. Ball at the 15-yard line, 14-yard line, make it a 30-yard punt.
You know, Michael Bennett was kind of flying under the radar until this summer at a camp this summer. Did a really good job against a very highly recruited defensive back, and that's when he got noticed by the coaches at University of Georgia. Had such an outstanding camp. I don't know who the defensive back was, but had a great camp against him and got noticed.
Mikhail Abdul-Sabor back in at quarterback. He hands off to number 4, Mincy. Mincy is wrapped up immediately by the Raiders.
James Mincy with the football for Alpharetta. Met in the backfield by 57, Chris Boardman.
Boardman on the tackle for Walton.
58, Sebastian Steen. No gain on the play. Second down.
It'll bring up second down and 10 for the Raiders. Ball remains at the 14-yard line. Don't forget, Tim Burns is out there live to chat with any viewers who are watching this evening. In fact, I see him typing right now. He might be ordering pizza. I'm not sure. Keeper by Sabor, and he is wrapped up by a host of Raiders for no gain. That was the same action that he ran, the 65-yard play. Number 48, Brooks Tilley, in on the tackle. And Kyle Woestman.
No gain on the play. Third down, 3rd and 10 for Alpharetta.
I had a chance to interview Brooks the other night for a part of our pregame show, and he's just your classic linebacker. Focused, determined, very short, crisp answers. He just linebacker. That's all. You just look at him and go, linebacker. Inside pitch to Mincy, little shovel pass. He breaks a tackle, and he's going to pick up an Alpharetta first down and more. That's an 18-yard gain, 19-yard gain for Alpharetta. It'll bring up a first down. Little shovel pass there to Mincy, and he picks up 19 quick yards after a missed tackle by Walton.
We don't have heights and weights on either of these rosters, and on the Alpharetta roster, we don't have what class they are, but I sure hope James Mincy's a senior, because I've seen just about enough of him already tonight.
So it's first and 10 for Alpharetta. Ball sitting at the 33-yard line. A minute 42 left. Abdul-Sabor with the pitch. Michael Bennett hit hard and knocked back after a 3-yard loss. Ball at the 30-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 13 for Alpharetta.
Number 18, Michael Bennett. Nice defense by the Raiders. 14,
Seems like it's been tough for Walton to get it going offensively, and then they gave up the one big play defensively. I wonder how much of that has to do with the schedule being thrown off, if the players are just kind of out of their element a little bit.
They practiced all week at Wolf's Indoor Soccer Center, and there was Coach Hidalgo said there was a lot of things they could do there. He didn't really feel like it was a big problem. Good defense there by number 84, Chris Mooney, puts a hard hit on number 6, Mikhail Abdul-Sabor, the quarterback for Alpharetta.
Number 84, Chris Mooney, and help from his friends.
Chris Mooney, some of that senior leadership that we talked about. They teach that defensive end. You trail that play about a yard deep. You're always looking for that counteraction to come back your way. And when Sabor turned around, there was Chris Mooney waiting for him.
Just a little time left by your Walton.
Timeout on the field.
124.
124 left here in the first half.
In the band section with referee shirts on.
I'm sure each one of these teams is would like to get some points on the board in this last minute and 24 of the first half. Walton's got to do it with a defensive stop here on 3rd and long and get the ball back and score quick. Alpharetta, on their side of things, they want to convert this 3rd and long and march the ball down the field.
Well, both teams still have 2 timeouts left, so if the Raiders get a stop here, they might use that timeout to force the punt with a little bit of time left. Don't forget, folks, at halftime we will be showing all of the halftime festivities with the homecoming courts.
Go to Raider Vision TV, go to RaidersFB.net, click on the links to watch tonight's game featuring Kurt Schreiner and Pete English. Big 3rd down play.
3rd down and 12 for the Alpharetta Raiders. Ball at the 31-yard line. They bring in Justin Burns, the quarterback, here on this 3rd and long, Tim. Wow, center screen. Played beautifully by the Raiders. Timeout being called by Walton. Pressure put on by number 57, Chris Boardman.
Burns pass is complete.
And number 58, Sebastian Steen with the tackle. They tried to run that center screen. Raiders put the pressure on, read it perfectly.
think Keegan Cowley was in on that stop too. He was the last one up off the pile. Looks like he might have gotten shaken up a little bit the way he's coming off the field.
Yeah, he kind of submarined underneath the running back. So that brings up 4th down and 14, and Alpharetta is going to punt. Number 22, C.J. Cochran, back into punt for Alpharetta. There's 1 minute and 16 seconds left here in the first half. Lipsy and Williams deep for Walton. Get a good punt return, put ourselves in position for maybe a field goal or a touchdown. A lot of momentum going into the half. That would be perfect for Walton right now. Here's the snap. Good snap. Cochran with the punt. Oh, he gets a good punt away. He gets it high in the air, turns it over. And a fair catch by Lipsy. Ball will be at the 31-yard line. So the Raiders have 69 yards to go for a touchdown.
Raiders take over 1st and 10, football on their own 31.
They'll have to get down the field quick. 1:09 left.
That was a great punt by Cochran when they really needed one for Alpharetta. He got the ball, turned over. Nice punt.
Very good punt. Stayed in the air a long time, and Lipsy really no choice but to fair catch that football.
38-yard punt for Cochran. Windler in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. Williams, the lone receiver, to the left. You just wonder if they might send Williams down that left side for that man-to-man coverage. Gazeboy, the running back, next to Joey Windler. Windler drops back. He looks to his right. He's going to throw. Oh, no. Mincy almost with the interception. That's a long, long throw across that field, Tim. And Mincy almost picked that one off for a pick 6.
Well, I tell you what, they've got a couple D1 commits. They've got the quarterback committed to 1AA Delaware, but best player on Alpharetta's team right now, to me, looks like James Mincy. He's made every play so far tonight for Alpharetta.
Kirk said that one looked like it might have actually been batted down by our wide receiver who was playing defense on that play. So it brings up a 2nd down and 10, ball to 31 for the Raiders. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Windler drops back to pass, rolls to his right, finds Cosgrove across the middle. He's going to pick up 7 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Cosgrove looked like he might have been surprised for a second that ball was coming to him.
50 seconds left here in the half. 3rd down, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3 for the Raiders. Ball to 38-yard line. Windler takes the snap. He drops back. Catch by Lipsy, number 27. It's a 1st down for Walton. 34 seconds left here in the half. The ball is on the 46-yard line. Windler with a nice pass, plenty of time. Lipsy basically came all the way across the field to catch that pass.
And a good heads-up play to finish the play by getting out of bounds and stopping that clock for Walton.
34.5 seconds left. Ball on the 46-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 2 to the left. Windler in the shotgun by himself. Quarterback draw. Windler up to the 45. He is tackled and brought down at the 43-yard line. He picks up a little bit more than 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 and a timeout by Walton with 28.5 seconds left in the half. I believe that is Walton's last timeout.
Joey Windler has looked so strong so far this year running the football, and tonight really airing it out very well. The receiver's doing a good job making the catches, too. A couple of circus catches.
Absolutely. That one by Cosgrove bouncing on the ground, and another one off the hip of the defensive back. So the Raiders look at a 2nd down and 7 with 28 seconds left to go here in the first half. The ball resting right between the 42 and the 43-yard line. We probably need about 20 yards to get into comfortable field goal range. The Raiders haven't gotten the ball downfield to number 1, Braylon Williams, yet. He is wide right in the trip side of this formation. Windler once again by himself. 2 receivers left, 3 receivers to the right. Quick pass to Cosgrove. Cosgrove steps out of bounds. That took 4 seconds, 24.8 seconds, barely 3 seconds, really. I don't know if he got the first down. The spot is going to be very, very close.
5-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down, 3rd and a yard for the Walton Raiders.
It's 3rd and 1. The clock stops after the receiver went out of bounds. 3rd down and 1. You know, this might be the great time, Tim, just to launch one down the field on 3rd and 1.
Yep, 3rd and short. sometimes you can catch them off guard by going deep.
Windler drops back to pass. He's got plenty of time and dropped by number 1, Braylon Williams.
Boy, that is an opportunity wasted right there. Justin Mincy, the defensive back that we've been talking about all night, fell down on that play. And if Williams can come up with a catch, he's got nothing but green field ahead of him.
How about the hook and lateral right here? 19 seconds left. So it's 4th down and 1 with 19 seconds left here. Ball just resting on the 36-yard line. Windler under center. He sneaks it for the first down and more. He's going to pick up close to 2 or 3 yards.
That gets it down to 16 seconds left in the half.
16 seconds left. Clock stops on the first down. Windler's going to spike the ball as soon as they set the ball. Referee's got a clock starts. Windler snaps, puts it down, 14.3 seconds. It'll be 2nd down and 10, ball on the 34-yard line with 14 seconds left. Time for 2 plays, Tim. No timeouts. 2 shots deep into the end zone.
Well, they keep lining Cosgrove up wide left out here near the sideline. Might be able to squeeze in 3 if you keep stepping out of bounds right after you catch it.
3 receivers right. Gazebo next to Windler as Windler sits in the shotgun. He drops back. He's got plenty of time. Throws into the middle of the field. I think it's going to be a first down for the Raiders, and the clock will stop with 7.2 seconds left. Clock stops, ball at the 22-yard line. This would make it a 39-yard field goal. Windler spikes it. 6 seconds left here, and out comes Holden Fender for the field goal attempt.
Well, this is a pretty big field goal attempt here for Fender.
Ball's going to be put down at the 30-yard line. It's going to be a 40-yard field goal for Fender. Yeah, he puts the tee down at the 29, so he'll make it 39 yards. Holden has missed one earlier today and missed one against Wheeler. I'm feeling good about this one, Tim. I think this one's going through.
Oh, he's got the leg. There's no question. It's just getting it between those uprights. Looks like it's no good. Yeah, wide right.
Wide right. 0.3 seconds left here in the half.
No good as the first half comes to an end.
Well, I tell you what, Alpharetta's got to consider this a moral victory going in at halftime, tied up at 7.
Well, there's 0.3 seconds left. I think what they're going to do is come out. I guess Alpharetta's going to take one more snap here. And then we will be back after a break to give you the homecoming festivities here at Walton High School in Raider Valley. Beautiful night, by the way, for football. Kirk and I are both from Pennsylvania, and this feels like a fall evening in Pennsylvania. Temperature in the low 50s right now, crystal clear. And the Alpharetta Raiders take a knee, and that's going to be the end of the first half. So your score at the end of the first half, Alpharetta Raiders 7, Walton Raiders 7. You're watching Raider football on Raider Vision Gamecast. We'll be back after this break.
Welcome to Lazy Boy.
I know what's going on here. This furniture, these prices, all this furniture is hot.
Hot?
Come on, kids. Let's go.
It's just a sale. I swear.
Hurry in now for great savings. Comfort, it's what we do. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Tutton.
Please. As you well know, this is a make it or break it month for the automotive industry as well as America. But let me tell you, we will make it. Be American, buy American.
What about health care?
I say take care of your health. Otherwise, you can't enjoy 0% financing for 72 months or up to $16,000 off. Only at Ed Bulls Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Following her surgery, Margaret needed additional therapy before going home. At Manor Care, most of our patients are here for rehabilitative care, not a permanent residence. With expertise in developing personalized rehab programs, we tailor plans that achieve success. The Manor Care team helped Margaret regain her strength and worked out the details of Medicare so she could get back to the things that are really important. So choose a proven leader. Choose Manor Care.
This is a place where stories get passed from one generation to the next, where meals are shared every night, and where songs are sung so off-key it makes the coyotes cry. This is the West that we know. This is Longhorn, where you can enjoy our juicy outlaw ribeye, fire-grilled to savory perfection, or try our legendary Flo's filet with signature seasonings. Always fresh, always tender. Longhorn Steakhouse. Discover the West in you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Principal Judy Neal and the staff of Walton High School are proud to announce or present this year's homecoming court for the year 2009. Representing the class of 2013, Logan Hellenbach, escorted by her father, Grant Hellenbach. Kendall O'Donnell, escorted by her father, Kevin O'Donnell. Representing the class of 2012, Natasha Baer, escorted by her father, Chris Baer. Katie Daniel, escorted by her father, John Daniel. Hannah Siegel, escorted by her father, Tom Siegel. Representing the class of 2011, Jean Marie Allen, escorted by her father, Bill Allen. Leslie Doctor, escorted by her father, Steve Doctor. Gina Galt, escorted by her father, Earl Galt. Jasmine Metzer, escorted by her father, Gilbert Metzer. And one of the following five gentlemen for the senior class was voted.
Here we are at halftime of the Walton Raiders 7-7 with the Alpharetta Raiders.
Representing the senior class of 2010, Megan Alipi, escorted by her father.
We're now going through the senior class representatives, Tim, from the homecoming court. First is Megan Alifi, escorted by her father, Tony. Megan is a class of 2010 Supergirl. She is also a member of the ladies' varsity lacrosse team. Next year, she plans on attending college, where she would like to major in psychology.
Ashley Bean, escorted by her father, her brother, sorry.
Next is senior Ashley Bean, escorted by her brother, Grant Bean.
Ashley is an active member of the FCA and the Invisible Children's Club. Ashley plans to attend college.
Ashley's an active member of the FCA and the Invisible Children's Club. She plans on attending college to become a nurse. Ashley Bean, senior, Walton High School.
Shelby Kenny, escorted by her father, Stuart Kenny.
Shelby Kenny, escorted by her father, Stuart. Shelby serves as a class representative on SGA and is a Walton ambassador. Next year, she plans on attending college and majoring in business. Shelby Kenny, senior class. Carly Maroose, escorted by her father, Charlie. Carly is a varsity basketball cheerleader and a member of the Spanish Honor Society. She plans on attending college and studying foreign affairs. And our final contestant for the homecoming court is Britton Monroe, escorted by her father, Glenn. Britton is a member of the National Honor Society. She is also captain of the varsity basketball cheerleading squad. Next year, she hopes to attend University of Georgia, study veterinary medicine, and one day become a wife and a mother. Britton Monroe, senior class, Walton High School. And that is your homecoming court for 2009. And now the big moment for a winner, Tim. The homecoming parade was on Friday, but the court is being introduced today.
This year's homecoming queen is Ashley Bean.
And this year's homecoming queen for 2009 at Walton High School is Ashley Bean. Congratulations, Ashley. She's escorted by her brother, Grant. And Principal McNeil putting the crown on Ashley as she becomes the 2009 Walton homecoming queen. We didn't have a chance to read off the names of the other girls. We had Morgan Helmendock from the class of 2013, Kendall O'Donnell. Representing the class of 2012 was Natasha Bear, Katie Daniel, and Hannah Single. And representing the class of 2011, the juniors, Jean Marie Allen, Leslie Doctor, Gina Galt, and Jasmine Metzo.
Last Friday, the annual homecoming parade took place.
So there's our homecoming festivities for 2009. I hope everybody enjoyed those. Tim and I were a little bit out of breath as we came running back up to the press box.
Was the junior class.
We've got about 11 minutes here left in the half before football resumes. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the mics down and take a break. And we'll be back with some halftime statistics and some recap with about 5 minutes left. You're watching live Raider Vision Gamecast on Raider Television. Walton Raiders 7, Alpharetta Raiders 7 in a special Tuesday night edition of Raider Football.
So we're still live? Chris, am I still live? Everybody leave me? Stupid copper, and I'm down here shooting the figure. I can, I'm coming for it. Can I just shoot a plancher or the team's coming back on me? Alright, so I'm off. Okay. Tony! Tony! Very funny. Chris?
Welcome to Lazy Boy.
I know what's going on here. This furniture, these prices, all this furniture is hot.
Hot.
Come on, kids. Let's go.
It's just a sale. I swear.
Hurry in now for great savings. Comfort, it's what we do. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Tutton.
Please. As you well know, this is a make it or break it month. for the automotive industry as well as America. But let me tell you, we will make it. Be American, buy American.
What about health care?
I say take care of your health. Otherwise, you can't enjoy 0% financing for 72 months or up to $16,000 off. Only at Ed Bulls Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Following her surgery, Margaret needed additional therapy before going home. At Manor Care, most of our patients are here for rehabilitative care, not a permanent residence. With expertise in developing personalized rehab programs, we tailor plans that achieve success. The Manor Care team helped Margaret regain her strength and worked out the details of Medicare so she could get back to the things that are really important. So choose a proven leader. Choose Manor Care.
This is a place where stories get passed from one generation to the next, where meals are shared every night, and where songs are sung so off-key it makes the coyotes cry. This is the West that we know. This is Longhorn, where you can enjoy our juicy outlaw ribeye, fire-grilled to savory perfection, or try our legendary Flo's filet with signature seasonings. Always fresh, always tender. Longhorn Steakhouse. Discover the West in you.
98 yards on the ground, 24 yards receiving. Number 18, Michael Bennett. For the Raiders, 185 total yards, 66 on the ground, 119 passing. Number 3, Kyle Forster, 13 rushing attempts for 46 yards.
Welcome back, Raider fans, here at halftime with the Walton Raiders and Alpharetta Raiders tied at 7. And we have some halftime statistics, Tim, and why don't you go ahead and run through those for everybody.
All right, I'm going to try to read my chicken scratch here, and it's kind of rough, but Alpharetta, 122 total yards of offense, 98 rushing, 24 passing. Not what you would expect from Alpharetta, the differential there between rushing and passing, and the majority of it rushing. Same thing with Walton, 185 total yards for the Walton Raiders, 66 on the ground, 119 through the air. And Joey Windler has been the one lighting things up through the air for Walton. 11 of 13 passing for Windler in the first half, 119 yards and 1 touchdown pass. That to Patrick Cosgrove. On the ground, Windler 8 carries, 24 yards. Kyle Forster 13 carries for 46 yards. And individually for Alpharetta, I'm going to have to get these numbers for you real quick. Justin Burns only 3 of 6 passing for 5 yards. And Mikhail Abdul-Sabor, 1 of 3 passing for 19 yards. On the ground for Alpharetta, it's Mikhail Abdul-Sabor, 5 carries for 73 yards. He had that one big one on the ground that did most of that damage. And then James Mency, 3 carries for 20 yards, but he's made so many other plays, Kurt, all night long, offensive and defensively for Alpharetta. James Mency's really been the star of the game for Alpharetta. For Walton, it's Joey Windler and Patrick Cosgrove doing most of the damage through the air for the Raiders.
Well, Windler's quarterback rating must be somewhere in the 125 to 130 range with 11 of 13 and 1 touchdown. And, I think, Tim, one of the keys was that the Raiders stayed patient, though. They didn't give up on the run. They didn't go past crazy. And Forster had a couple of hard runs, and, I don't think they're going to give up on the running game at all. We weren't able to convert a couple of field goals. And, other than the one big long run by Abdul-Sabor when he was playing quarterback for Alpharetta, the Walton defense has actually played pretty well.
Yep, for the most part. They shut them down when they had to. That one big run did most of the damage. But forcing a lot of 3rd and longs. And when you do that, you're going to handicap a powerful offense a lot of the time.
Well, both teams are back on the field. You can see the Raiders warming up in their own end zone. We just completed halftime festivities with the homecoming court being announced, and the winner of the 2009 homecoming court, homecoming queen, was senior Ashley Bean. And congratulations to Ashley. But we had a bit of an extended halftime because of the homecoming activities, so both teams have just gotten back out on the field. Raiders receive the second half kickoff, Tim, so it'd be a chance for Walton to maybe get down there, put some points on the board quickly. This seems like one of those momentum games where a turnover, or a big play is going to turn the momentum, and one of those teams might be able to grab it early on here in the second half.
Well, what we've seen from Walton this year and in recent years past is they grind it out on the ground and control the clock, and that's really what we expected them to do here tonight. Tonight they've had to do most of their damage through the air. Not much going on the ground for either Vorster or Windler, and they've been the two main guys carrying the football for Walton this year. Windler, 446 yards rushing coming in, averaging 6.4 a carry, and Vorster, 457 rather, coming into the game, averaging 7.1 a carry. So we'll see if they can get it going on the ground here in the second half. If not, passing game looks pretty good.
One of the things, if you look at the season stats to this point, the Raiders have only given up 17 points total in the third and fourth quarter in their first 4 games. They gave up the 1 overtime touchdown against Norcross, but the third and fourth quarter for the Raiders have been strong defensively. And in the third quarter, the Raiders have outscored their opponents 34-10 and 13-7 in the fourth quarter. This is an opportunity. This tends to be the Raiders' quarter defensively that they're at their best. So, get a touchdown, hold Alpharetta, maybe pick up another score. I think a 10-point lead tonight is going to be maybe enough. But with these two offenses, you could also see the second half turn into a shootout, and we end up with something along the lines of 35-28. Who knows?
Yeah, I know people around the region and around the state will look at a game like this and they'll think about margin of victory. I know Walton's not worried about the margin of victory. They just want to get that W. That's all that counts when it's all said and done.
Rob Brooks, Tilley, and Kyle Woestman, the captains for Walton, going out for the second half. One of the great things when you have a playoff is it doesn't matter how much you win by. It's just all about winning and get into the playoffs, and everybody's got a free shot to see how far they can go. The Raiders will receive here in the second half. They will head towards the south end zone. If you'll recall, Tim, after Alpharetta's first touchdown, Cochran, their kicker, kicked one of those little sand wedge onside kicks that almost resulted in a Alpharetta recovery around the 40-yard line. Walton's kick receiving team needs to be ready.
Your Walton Raiders to receive starting the second half.
Number 40, Zach Pope, needs to be particularly ready. I think that he and Andre Joaquin were where that little sand wedge was aimed. So Andre and Zach need to kind of stay home, see if that ball goes past them before they run down and form their blocking wedge. LaMontagne and Williams deep for the Raiders.
Most important score of the night at halftime.
One of the things they need to look out for is something you pointed out, being the father of a kicker. The way the ball was teed up, you can tell that's the kind of kick that they were going for, and they need to look out for that. That'll be their key on this kickoff. Now, another thing, I'm sure the coaches talked to him about it at halftime, is that is a live ball. That is like a long onside kickoff, basically, and they need to get on it when it hits the ground like that. I think another thing is Walton needs to convince themselves that this is a Friday night. They were out there in the first half acting like it was a Tuesday night, which it is, but they've got to get in Friday night mode.
Well, a pretty good crowd brought by the Raider home fans. Alpharetta being a Tuesday night, I don't think their cheerleaders traveled nor their band, but they've got a couple of fans here from Alpharetta to support their boys. The Walton Raiders have a packed stand as usual. The students are here in force. Oh, a little trickeration there. Ball picked up by LaMontagne on the 21-yard line as the ball was not kicked by Cochran. It was kicked by another one of the Alpharetta Raiders, but LaMontagne returns the ball up to the 26 or 27-yard line. Short return, about 7 yards, and the Raiders will take over 1st and 10. That was like a soccer play, like a free kick in soccer. Who's going to take it? Oh, I'm going to take it. So Joey Windler leads the Walton Raider offense back onto the field here to start the third quarter. Windler 11 of 13 in that first half. Very accurate, terrific first half by the senior quarterback. 2 receivers left, 1 back behind Windler. Looks like it's Kyle Vorster. Vorster looks to throw. He gets Braylon Williams on the corner. Williams catches the ball, and he's up over the 35, 36-yard line. That's going to be close to a Raider first down. It depends on the spot.
I think he's going to have it. Should have it.
I think Alpharetta was lucky they didn't get hit with a late hit on that play. A flag on a late hit. So it brings up 2nd down and 1 for Walton. Oh, they give him a first down. Here we go.
10-yard gain for Williams. First down, Walton Raiders.
The side judge and the chain gang now have the chains reset. The chain gang had the ball 2nd down and 1, but it is 1st down and 10 for the Raiders. Ball at the 37-yard line, their own 37-yard line. Worcester and Gazeboy in the backfield. A little bit of a busted play there between Windler and Worcester on that counter trap.
Worcester at the line of scrimmage at number 54, George Monroe.
Tackle by number 54, linebacker George Monroe. I'm impressed with the Alpharetta defense, Tim. I mean, there was some questions about how well they were going to play after their last 2 games against Centennial and Milton, but they've been very stout.
Well, George Monroe's been all over the field, making stop after stop. The defensive line is clogging up the middle and freeing up the linebackers like Monroe to come in and make those plays.
Loss of about a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11 for Walton. Cosgrove in motion. Turn, hands off to Worcester. Worcester has a bit of a crack there. He picks up about 5 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. Tackle again by number 54. Is that right, Kirk?
And on the tackle, number 95.
Number 95, Andrew Gardner.
Gaining 5 on the play brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 6 for the Raiders.
3rd and 6 for Walton. Here the ball sitting at the 41-yard line, their own 41-yard line. Split backs behind Windler. 2 receivers right. Windler throws it out to the right side. It's caught by Cosgrove, by Williams, excuse me. It's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be a first down. It may be. It's going to be very close. They might have to measure on this one, Tim.
No,
but
I think he's got it. The official just indicated to the chain gang to go ahead and move the chain. So
that's what I like. 1st and 10 Raiders.
Good for a Raider first down. 1st and 10 Walton Raiders, football on the 48-yard line.
So Windler starts the second half 2 for 2. 2 passes out to his big wide receiver, number 1, Braylon Williams. Raiders pick up a pair of first downs, and the ball's now at the 47-yard line, their own 47, 1st and 10, I formation. Lipsy in motion. Turn and hand off the Worcester up the middle. He spins, grinds. He picks up another 3 yards.
Boy, that was a tough 3 yards that time by Worcester.
First contact by number 68, Malin Neal.
Neal and Monroe on the tackle for Alpharetta.
Derek Balfour. 3-yard gain for Worcester brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Raiders.
Number 84, Chris Mooney, brings in the play for Walton. It brings up 2nd down, and we'll call it 7 yards. 2nd and 7 ball just resting across midfield. Once again, handoff to Worcester. Worcester tripped up as he crosses the 50-yard line. Tackled there by number 49, Kenneth Reynolds. Worcester picks up maybe 1 yard. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Key 3rd down here early in the second half. You have to think with Windler's accuracy, this one's going to go in the air, Tim.
Yeah, it's, and the last thing Walton wants to do right now is have to turn this ball over to Alpharetta and give their offense a chance to get on the board first here in the second half.
Walton 3rd down and 6, ball just across the 50-yard line. Windler drops back to pass. He's got his big tight end, number 93, Daniel Elliott, who is open. And Daniel just dropped the ball. Looked like he took a couple of steps, thought he had it, but it fell out of his hands. It's going to bring up a punt situation for the Raiders. Nakai Poole in for his 3rd punt of the night.
Looked like that might have been on the back shoulder a little bit of Elliott that time, and he had to reach back for it, but still a catchable ball.
Poole standing at his own 38-yard line. Bennett and Burst deep for the Alpharetta Raiders to return the punt, and he slips. Poole slips. It's caught by Bennett and fumbled at the 15-yard line, and he wisely falls on the ball.
I think Bennett was thinking about where he was going to run with the ball before he caught it, but a good job to make up for it by just falling on the ball immediately instead of trying to do something heroic and pick it up and run with it.
35-yard punt by Poole. It'll be Alpharetta ball, 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. You can feel the dew is starting to form on the field. The field is already wet, so I suspect we're going to see some guys slipping here in the second half. So Abdul Sabor is the quarterback for Alpharetta. Handoff up inside to Mincy, number 4. Number 21, Samaria, with the tackle after a gain of 1, and you can see how muddy it is there on the field, on the sidelines there at the 16-yard line. Mincy got to that corner, tried to turn, and he fell down.
Well, I tell you what, it's just goes to show you how much rain there was here last week. I was actually out of town and missed most of it, but the fact that we've had as many sunny days as we've had, and it's still that muddy down there on the sidelines.
So 2nd down and 9. Abdul Sabor keeps the ball. He is wrapped up by the Raiders. Hard hit. Tackled by number 58, Sebastian Steen. Sabor with the short run. He picked up about 2 or 3 yards on that. 35, Orrin Whitaker also on the tackle for the Raiders.
3rd down, 3rd and 7, Alpharetta.
Third down and 7 for Alpharetta. Ball on their own 18-yard line. Sabor pitches the ball out wide to Mincy. Mincy looking for the corner. There's going to be a holding call on this play as Mincy's knocked out of bounds. I think this one's coming back.
I was trying to answer the online chatter. They asked who won homecoming, but someone else got it.
Ashley Bean, I believe, is the winner.
Someone beat me to it.
There was looked like one of the wide receivers grabbing hold of one of our defensive backs there as Mincy came around the corner. And that's going to knock Alpharetta back 10 yards and bring up 3rd down and long. You know, Tim, I can think of all the times playing football. I don't think I ever had to go back to school on a Wednesday after playing football. That's not going to feel real good.
No, and with the off week here this Friday night, I'm sure Coach Hidalgo will let him catch a little bit of a rest tomorrow. But yeah, you're right. That's going to be a rough one.
So the referee marks off the penalty. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 17 for the Alpharetta Raiders. Ball resting at the 8-yard line. Need to get to the 25 for a 1st down. They bring in Justin Burns at quarterback now for the 3rd and long. Last time they were in this situation, they ran the center screen to Mincy. The Raiders got great pressure on Burns, and I think that's one of the keys. Taking a lot of time. 6:40 here left in the first half, and there's going to be a penalty, and I believe it is too much time against the Alpharetta Raiders, and that's going to move the ball back half the distance to the goal line, put the ball inside the 5 now. It'll bring up 3rd down and almost 20 or 21 yards.
Now, one online chatter did have a good idea here, I think. They said that since there is a off week next week, they should have moved the game to next Friday night, or this coming Friday night, and that's not a bad idea. It's kind of unusual having it on a Tuesday night.
So it brings up 3rd down and 20 for Alpharetta. The ball resting on the 5-yard line. More confusion and a timeout finally taken by Alpharetta. So 3rd down and 20, timeout, Alpharetta.
One more time, a big winner in tonight's Band 50-50 raffle. The winning
When they come back from this timeout, Kurt, this is a really big play for the Walton defense. They were unable to get any points with that opening possession. And, you've got a chance to pin Alpharetta back here deep and get that field possession advantage back that they had in the first half. So this is a big play coming up for the Walton defense.
Tonight's winnings must be claimed by the end of the game. Ticket number 978.
Following her surgery, Margaret needed additional therapy before going home. At Manor Care, most of our patients are here for rehabilitative care, not a permanent residence. With expertise in developing personalized rehab programs, we tailor plans that achieve success. The Manor Care team helped Margaret regain her strength and worked out the details of Medicare so she could get back to the things that are really important. So choose a proven leader. Choose Manor Care.
Welcome back, Raider fans. Ball sitting at the 5-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 20 for the Alpharetta Raiders. Mincy the back behind Justin Burns. Burns under center now, and he's going to turn and give it off to Mincy up the middle, and it's tackled there by number 41, Keegan Kiley, after a gain of 1 or 2 yards. Nice tackle there by Keegan. It's going to bring up a punt situation for Alpharetta. Tim, this is a great field position shift for our guys. Maybe we can even get a block here on this punt.
Even if you can't get a block, I mean, I don't know how much leg he's going to be able to get on this kick. And even if Walton just comes up with a fair catch here, they're going to have outstanding field position.
Alpharetta in tight punt formation. Good snap. Wow, that was almost blocked. He gets it away, though. It's a nice kick. It's going to be bounced down at the 38-yard line and touched there by number 88 from Alpharetta. Samuel Rego for Alpharetta touches the ball down at the 39-yard line. So a 34-yard punt by by Cochran. Raiders almost got that blocked, but still have great field position with the ball 1st and 10 at the Alpharetta 39. 7-7 here in the 3rd quarter with 5:51 left. And Joey Windler leads the Raider offense back out on the field. Vorster, your tailback. Gazebue, your fullback. Handoff to Vorster. He's over the 40, up to the 35, over to the 32-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards. Number 35, Derek Balcar with the tackle. Offensive line once again for the Raiders. Number 59, Drew Dalton. Number 61, Nick Redditch. Number 63, Kyle Woestman. Number 66, Tyler Babb. And number 67, Oliver Kramer. And the tight end is number 93, Daniel Elliott. Raiders are in 2nd down and 3. Ball at the 32-yard line. Fake pitch to Gazebue. Handoff inside to Vorster. Vorster breaking tackles, and he's down to the 20-yard line. One tackle away, Tim, from breaking that one for 6 points.
Great 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort there by Kyle Vorster. He should have been stopped 2 or 3 different times on that play and just kept his legs driving. And in the middle of all that, was able to hold on to that football, too.
If it hadn't been for number 10, Cedric Howard, that's a touchdown for the Raiders. But it's 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Handoff once again to Vorster. He's at the 15 to the 10, and he's knocked down and tackled.
That offensive line you just
9-yard
mentioned,
line.
You just read them off one by one. Finally able to open some holes for Kyle Vorster.
That's going to bring up 1st down and goal at the 9-yard line for the Raiders. Yeah, Vorster's a running back. You cannot stop until he is on the ground. Handoff once again to Vorster. Picks up almost 4 yards to the 5-yard line. Good hard running by Kyle Vorster.
Once again, stopped by 54, George Monroe.
54 on the tackle, George Monroe. Tim, at the end of the night, after Kyle's been banging on you, you just don't want to see him again.
Well, they've really had to grind it out tonight. I've got him unofficially 21 carries for 87 yards.
4:23 left. Handoff to Vorster again. He is stopped after a 1-yard gain. Number 95 on the tackle, Andrew Gardner. And it brings up 3rd down and goal just inside the 5-yard line for the Walton Raiders. Orrin Whitaker and Patrick Cosgrove into the game for the Raiders. Rodney Gazebue heads back to the sideline. The last couple of weeks, we've seen Windler a lot in this situation. Third down and goal at the 4-yard line for the Raiders. Vorster, the lone back behind Windler. Windler rolls out to his right, his left, passes into the end zone, caught and dropped after a hard hit by number 18, Michael Bennett.
It looked like he held it long enough to me. I mean, how long do you have to hold the ball? He's standing in the end zone. He's got a hold of the football. it seemed like a couple seconds ticked by before he got hit, and then he drops it.
Number 93, Daniel Elliott. That is close. Coach Hidalgo out on the field expressing his concern over the play.
Might be inviting the official over for a late night snack after the game, over to his house. I don't know.
Maybe discussion of the homecoming court, perhaps. Because, Rocky wasn't here to see it, so maybe he's asking how it went. Rocky's standing with his arms crossed. I'm wondering if one of the referees might have signaled touchdown, Tim, while another one signaled incomplete pass.
They're talking something over there.
The Walton coaches are raising their arms as to say, well, if we can assist you, we'll help you. We think it's a touchdown.
Well, I tell you what, if they do signal touchdown, the few fans that are there over there on the Alpharetta side are going to go nuts.
All right, here's the replay again. Kirk Gadabush is going to act as our replay official. One of the referees did signal touchdown, and it is a Walton Raider touchdown. Daniel Elliott with the touchdown pass from Joey Windler. Watch the replay.
Yeah.
The referee in the left-hand corner did signal touchdown, and after conferring, hey, if you're not sure, get together, talk about it, and the referees signaled touchdown, and good for the Walton Raiders. And as you said, Tim, I'm sure the Alpharetta Raider fans are thinking, wow, that didn't feel as good as I hoped it would. I was hoping for that, maybe a fourth down and either a field goal attempt or the Raiders had to try another chance into the end zone.
Well, Jason Dukes, the Alpharetta head coach, isn't too happy about it. He wants to know how they could have come to that decision.
You can't blame Coach Dukes. I mean, he is. I'd want to have that conversation too.
It was definitely a close call, but I mean, my original question: how long do you have to hold on to the football, standing flat-footed in the end zone?
Well, it's interesting because this play has been an issue in the NFL this year. There's been 3 or 4 plays early in the season where the receiver catches the ball, but he doesn't make that football move. There was a play in the end zone with the Raiders and the Chargers a couple weeks ago. The Falcons and the Panthers had a play in their game. It's a tough call. I think it's a touchdown. But I know that Coach Dukes would want a thorough explanation, and I don't blame him one bit. Scoreboard right now has the Raiders 13, Alpharetta 7, with 3:26 left here in the third quarter. Excuse me.
Well, I tell you, the referee's really trying to explain to Coach Dukes exactly what's going on, but Coach Dukes doesn't want to hear anything other than incomplete pass, fourth down.
Well, Coach Dukes' perspective is, well, one guy called it incomplete, another one called it a touchdown. Why is it a touchdown? And then if they come over to Coach Hidalgo's side, he's going to say, well, one guy called it a touchdown and one guy called it incomplete. Why isn't it a touchdown? So, tough call.
And look at it like this. If that happens at midfield, I bet you Coach Dukes wants it to be a complete pass and a fumble,
Right, exactly. Yeah, good point.
Just so happens that it happened in the end zone. Well, they've got a few opinions. Somebody's saying thanks for the gift to the refs.
Well, it's a tough call. It's a close call. I mean, I think the referees are justified defending it either way, and it results in a touchdown for the Walton Raiders. So Holden Fender in for the extra point. Snap. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 3:26 left in the third quarter, it's Walton Raiders 14, Alpharetta Raiders 7. Raider kickoff coming up. You're watching Raider football live on Raider Vision Gamecast from Raider Valley.
What's his first name? Jason.
He's not related to Jay.
That's what he played for Georgia Tech and
drafted by the Dolphins.
That sounds right, but I'm not sure.
Coach Dukes was in camp with the Dolphins, I think, for. He's actually done
From one generation to the next, where meals are shared every night, And where songs are sung so off-key, it makes the coyotes cry. This is the West that we know. This is Longhorn, where you can enjoy our juicy outlaw ribeye, fire-grilled to savory perfection. Or try our legendary Flo's filet with signature seasonings. Always fresh, always tender. Longhorn Steakhouse. Discover the West in you.
Holden Fender to kick off for the Raiders. Deep, high kick. That one's going to travel into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. Oh, that was Tim Rusler kicking off for Walton. All right, senior Tim Rusler, number 98, with a great kick. That'll bring out the ball to be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Yeah, we were talking here about Coach Dukes and the job that he's done. The Alpharetta program's only been in existence for 4 years. They're immediately competitive in arguably one of the toughest regions in the state. And, you have to expect under Coach Dukes they're going to continue to get better, Tim, and be a rival and a challenge every year here for the Walton Raiders.
Well, you want that from the whole region. That's why I was kind of tough watching Wheeler struggle so much last week. You'd really like to see him be competitive, make these games interesting.
New quarterback in for Alpharetta, number 27, C.J. Deputy. Deputy picks up 1 as he runs into the sideline here on the Walton Raiders side. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. 2nd down and 9 for Alpharetta. Bottom of the 6th, Kirk says 4-4 Braves and Marlins after the Braves were down 4-1. Braves have won 16 of 18 to get back in the playoff hunt. Great pressure by the Raiders. Deputy runs outside of the pocket. He fumbles the ball. And it's going to be marked down at the 27-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Raiders, Alpharetta Raiders. Good pressure there by Boardman for Walton, but Deputy was able to scramble out of the pocket. 3rd down and 3 for the Alpharetta Raiders. Ball sitting at the 27-yard line. Tim, other than that one long run, we've talked about it before, Walton's defense has been very stout.
Outstanding job by the defense. Got to get this offense untracked a little more, though.
I think Mr. Mincy might be looking for. Deputy goes, pitches it to Bennett. Bennett bellies back. Good block there by Mincy. Bennett still running around. He's tackled for a 10 or 11-yard loss. 84, Chris Mooney got hit on a block coming back, and he still got involved in the play. Mooney and LaMontagne finally bring down Bennett. Yeah, they move Bennett around a lot. He plays wide receiver. He plays running back. He returns the kicks.
Yeah, you talk about the job that Coach Jason Dukes is doing. That's one thing I don't understand, though, is all the switching around of the quarterbacks. We've seen 3 different guys take snaps tonight for Alpharetta. Hard for an offense to get in rhythm when you've got that many guys under center.
Warren Whitaker puts pressure on, and this is going to be a short punt that goes out of bounds close to the 40. Referee still walking forward, and he marks it out of bounds at the 39. So just like the last time, the Raiders will take over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line, the Alpharetta 39-yard line. Warren Whitaker put some pressure on the punter, and the ball went out on the right side of the sidelines at the Raider bench, and it's 1st and 10, ball at the 39. You hear about the whole quarterback thing. I mean, one of the things the first night that Mike Vick played, Donovan McNabb was saying no one can get in rhythm with 3 quarterbacks playing.
Yep.
So, the rhythm thing is an issue, and you see that with Joey Windler tonight. Joey is clearly in a rhythm. 1st and 10, Windler, Gazeboy, the lone setback behind him. Cosgrove in motion behind Windler. Handoff to Rodney. He cuts inside. He picks up maybe 3 yards to the 36-yard line. Under 1 minute here left in the third quarter with 50 seconds. Rodney had a great night against Wheeler, running the ball well, over 100 yards rushing. I think he had at least 1, maybe 2 touchdowns.
Absolutely, an outstanding job by him, and getting out to the early lead enabled him to get a lot more playing time and a lot more carries. I know Joey and Kyle had a short night at work that night.
It brings up 2nd down and 7, ball at the 36-yard line. I backfield behind Windler. He turns and hands to Vorster. Vorster hit immediately as he crosses the 35. He gets up to the 34-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. And that'll probably be the last play of the third quarter, with the ball 3rd and 5, the ball resting at the 34-yard line. And that is the end of the quarter. So your score at the end of 3, Walton Raiders 14, Alpharetta Raiders 7. You're watching Raider football on Raider Vision Gamecast live from Raider Valley. We'll be back after this break.
Trying to do a little online chatting and try to keep stats. It's like, I can't do all this.
The multitasking guy, you got there. How are you respond to them? Or what do you do?
Just there's a little bar where you type in
at the bottom.
Yep.
And how do you know who you're responding to? You just throwing it out there?
just reading their comments and trying to slip stuff in wherever.
Sort which one you can respond to.
Rockies and Brewers 1-1. As I just heard Dan. That's kind of what I do as part of my write-up. So you just want to something like that one.
Got to get a first down.
Minutes of football left to play in a big Region 6 game. Homecoming here at Raider Valley, 14-7 Walton.
Why do you bring me back? Welcome back to Raider Valley. That was the student section doing the bananas cheer, the Go Bananas cheer, a tradition here at Raider Valley. 3rd down and 5 for the Raiders. Ball at the 34-yard line. Windler rolling out to his right. Ball thrown low. Elliott unable to get down and go get it. I suspect, though, Tim, with it being 3rd and 5 at this range, we'll probably go for it instead of punt or try a long field goal.
Well, it's not like we've got a 2-touchdown lead. It's only a 7-point lead for Walton, and they need to hang on to this football and not put it back in the hands of the Alpharetta offense. So, yeah, they will go for it. Or they may just try to see if they can draw Alpharetta offside.
They almost did on that last play. Windler almost had that defensive line jumping off sides. He's in the shotgun now with Vorster and Gazeboy on either side of him. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. 4th down and 5. Windler drops back. Great pass protection. Wide open Patrick Cosgrove. 1st down for the Raiders. Ball at the 25-yard line.
Boy, he's made some outstanding catches tonight. That one looked like he was slipping down and made the catch as he was falling down.
Officials timeout.
We have a timeout on the field. We have a player down for the Raiders. Kenneth Reynolds, number 49 for Alpharetta.
1st and 10, football on the 25-yard line.
Pete, I don't know if we have a replay of that last play or not, but it was a great catch by Cosgrove to get the 1st down. Here you go. You can see Lipsy in the flat, but he finds Cosgrove in that seam, catches the ball, gets down, avoids the hit. 1st down Raiders. We need to also thank our stats at halftime, and also from Raider Weekly from Bill Perry, who does that every week for Walton. You can find Raider Weekly on the website, as well as the rebroadcast and on-demand broadcast of this game, and as well as the Wheeler game. I'd like to thank Capozzi's for the pregame meal that was provided here at Raider Valley for the Touchdown Club. Don't forget to visit Capozzi's here, located in East Cobb. So it's 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Ball at the 25-yard line. Andrew Lipsy in motion to the left side. Rodney Gazeboy, the lone back behind. Windler handoff to Rodney. He picks up 5 yards, maybe 6.
26, Rodney Gazeboy.
All right, here we go. Raiders are on top by 7 points. It's the 4th quarter, and you can kind of feel 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards.
Well, that's why that first down pickup on 4th down a moment ago was such a big play for Walton. Is now that they've got that first down, they can continue to run some clock here, grind it out, try to get another score on the board, and really put the pressure on Alpharetta.
2nd down and 4 for the Raiders. Handoff to Gazeboy again. He busted out over the right-hand side. He picks up the first down. He's over the 15 and up to the 9-yard line. Gazeboy with a nice pickup. Pickup of 11 yards. Number 18, Michael Bennett on the tackle for Alpharetta. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line for the Raiders. Raiders looking to score, put at least 3 more points on the board here, but I'm thinking Coach Hidalgo wants 7. .10:40 left in the game. Raiders 14, Alpharetta 7. Gazeboy once again, the lone back, hands off again, bounces it outside, looking to cut inside. Terrific play by the...
It's like the ball came out.
Oh, it is a fumble, and it's recovered by Alpharetta at the 10-yard line. It's almost a cliche, but you see it over and over again. Running back struggles for extra yards. The ball comes out. Alpharetta Raiders recover the ball at the 11-yard line.
I'm pretty sure it was James Mincy that stripped that ball out of there. He was the one that was in on the initial hit.
Here's the replay as Gazeboy tries to bounce it outside. Alpharetta recovers at the 11-yard line, so it's 1st and 10. Alpharetta 89 yards from the promised land. Or as Wes would say, the land of milk and honey. Tim, that was a nice win by your Yellow Jackets this weekend.
Boy, they needed that. Needed that. Rough game against Miami, and then Miami turns around and kind of has a tough time with Virginia Tech. So as usual, the ACC is wide open once again.
Well, Kirk and I won't be talking about any football up here other than the fact that Penn State had one great play on the first play that they had the ball. Alpharetta takes a timeout. 10:27 left here in the 4th quarter, and we'll take a break with them. Walton 14, Alpharetta 7. You're watching Raider football on Raider Vision Gamecast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Tutton.
Please. As you well know, this is a make it or break it month for the automotive industry as well as America. But let me tell you, we will make it. Be American, buy American.
What about health care?
I say take care of your health. Otherwise, you can't enjoy 0% financing for 72 months or up to $16,000 off. Only at Ed Bulls Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
First down, Alpharetta Raiders. We're back ball at the 11-yard line. Number 27, C.J. Deputy pitches wide. It's going to be a quarterback. It's going to be a throwback to Deputy. He picks the ball up at the 3-yard line. He's got plenty of running room in front of him. He's up to the 20. LaMontagne trips him up. He goes out. He goes down at the 21. Pickup of 10. I think it's going to be a first down for Alpharetta.
Stop by number 14, Matt LaMontagne.
Nice block that downfield that time by number 49. That's Kenneth Reynolds for Alpharetta.
27, C.J. Deputy
enabled Deputy to pick up some more yardage.
You know, the Raiders pursue aggressively from time to time, and that was a great play to break down that pursuit. Deputy drops back to pass. He's going to throw it long. It's high, and it's broken up by Shamaria. Great play.
Man. I'll tell you what, the Walton DBs are so undersized compared to these receivers, and, man, they're playing big, though.
This was a great play. This is what we were talking about earlier. Throw the ball short, but Shamaria just got up in the grill of the wide receiver and knocked that ball down. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10, the ball resting on the 21-yard line. Deputy, the quarterback, with Bennett on one side of him and number 31, Kwame Larby, on the other side. Deputy keeps the ball, runs it up the middle, and he's hit immediately by number 48, Brooks Tilley.
I'd be fine with Alpharetta running that play the rest of the game. Try to run right up the middle. Wheeler didn't have a lot of success with that last week against Walton.
It's a 3rd down and 8 for Alpharetta now. deep in their own territory.
Big third down play.
You really have to wonder, Tim, why we haven't seen more of Justin Burns and maybe throwing the ball around. I mean, it's hard to run against the Raiders. Here's a swing pass out to Bennett. Nice pickup, spinning, but he is going to be brought down, and I think he may have fumbled the ball.
Yeah, Kurt, that's a good point. I'm wondering if Justin Burns is hurt. He's a 1AA commit at quarterback, and he's gotten so few of the snaps. It's been Mikhail Abdul-Sabor and now Justin Mincy here. Or, I'm sorry, CJ Deputy taking most of the snaps for Alpharetta.
Well, Delaware is the home of Joe Flacco.
That's right.
I don't know if Kirk can find Justin on the sideline or not, but it's a punt formation for Cochran. He gets off a ball that's going to be handled by Lipsy at the 48-yard line.
Once again, outstanding field position for Walton.
32-yard punt for Alpharetta for the Alpharetta kicker Cochran. It'll be 1st and 10. Walton at their own 48-yard line. 8:28 left in the ball game. Walton hanging on to a 7-point lead. This will be a great chance for a nice grinded out 3 or 4 5-minute drive, and we're trying to get the right team's ball in the, up for the quarterback after the Alpharetta punt. But Windler under center, Gazeboe the lone back, Andrew Lipsy to our right. Windler turns, hands off to Gazeboe. He cuts back out over the 50-yard line and up to the 46-yard line of Alpharetta. He picks up 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Nice run by Rodney. Misses that first tackler. Breaks free for a couple of yards. Brings up 2nd and 5. Raiders content to keep the ball on the ground and use some clock here tonight. Coming up on 8 minutes, 8:05 left here in the ball game. Number 85, Austin Haygood in for the Raiders. Joey Windler keeping the ball, running left, trying to turn the corner. He does. He's across the 45.
Well, the only thing wrong with that play is Windler went out of bounds. You get close to the sideline like that, just go ahead and take a knee. Keep that clock rolling.
Going to be close to a 1st down. Based on the spot, I think it is going to be a 1st down for the Raiders. And I was wrong again, so it's 3rd down and short. The Raiders the last couple times in this situation have just done the quarterback sneak by Joey Windler. Keep the ball on the ground. Oh, they've got plenty of room for the quarterback sneak. There's nobody covering the center. And Windler calls a timeout. I think you probably had 3 or 4 yards there that were just waiting to be taken on that play.
Yeah, I tell you that, and first running out of bounds and now calling a timeout. We're trying to get this time ticked off the clock here. 7:49 left to go. Still just a 1-touchdown game. Alpharetta's certainly not out of this. Walton's got to keep that clock moving and try to get some more points on the board if they can.
Don't forget our Walton True Blue business partners. Also, don't forget Raider Vision TV, Raiders on Demand.
If you weren't with us earlier and you're checking in regarding the homecoming court and the homecoming queen, Ashley Bean, senior Ashley Bean, was the 2009 Walton High School homecoming queen at festivities here at Raider Valley during halftime. And now I know the Raiders would like to continue the celebration with a victory here over Alpharetta on this Tuesday night special of Raider football. I heard a lot of the parents talking about this. This just seems weird. We're going to watch high school football tonight, and everybody's going to have to get up and go to work tomorrow morning. And, yeah, that's right. We are.
Yeah, it's easy on us, though, what you mentioned earlier. These kids have to get up and go to school in the morning. They're going to be incredibly sore. Doesn't matter how good of shape you're in. You play 48 minutes of football, you've definitely got some aches and pains the next day.
So Vorster's back in the game for the Raiders. 3rd down and 1. Now we're
Officials timeout.
Having officials timeout, back the Raiders up. And we're going to measure after all of that.
Probably could have done that during the timeout.
Yeah, Kirk suggested that maybe Coach Hidalgo asked how much they need to get a first down since they've already got a first down.
Wow.
Well, that's a terrific play by the Raiders. They managed to get a first down without even ever moving the ball. So that's a 1st and 10 by Walton. I'm sure Coach Hidalgo is asking, can I have my timeout back? Hey, he got his touchdown back, so he may as well ask for the timeout back. So it's 1st down and 10 for Walton. Ball resting on the 42-yard line. Raiders trying to run some clock here as well as maybe add to their lead. 14-7, Walton over Alpharetta here in this Tuesday night game. Tim, I haven't heard any updates on that Kel Pope score. I think it was 14-0 last time we saw, but I don't know if there's an update at all.
Yep, I think we got 14-14 now.
Handoff to Gazeboy. Here's a flag thrown in. Thrown in that area of holding.
Gazeboy stopped by number 11, Rashad Kershaw. And once again,
Rashad Kershaw, number 11, on the tackle for Alpharetta. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Raiders.
That's unusual because that was right in the middle of the play while the play was still going on. So I don't know.
That might have been one that came from the bench, perhaps. Well, it is what it is. So whether it came from the bench or from the field, it doesn't matter. It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Raiders. Referee conferring with number 54, George Monroe, the linebacker for Alpharetta. And I'm sure Alpharetta will take this yardage here, make it 1st down and 25 for the Walton Raiders. Oh, those 15-yarders they just hurt. So we have an unsportsmanlike conduct and a holding penalty.
There were 2 flags against the Raiders, 10-yard penalty for holding, dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, 25 yards of penalties, moves the football back.
So it's 1st down and 36 for the Raiders.
34, 36, somewhere in there. Long way to go. Got to get to the Alpharetta 32 for a first down.
1st and 34, we'll call it. Gazeboy, the lone running back behind Windler with 3 wide receivers to the left. Windler drops back to pass. He's got plenty of time. Now he's pressured. He rolls out to his right. He looks like he's going to keep that. He's got plenty of running room now. He's got some blockers. He's crossed out to over the 40-yard line to the 45, still running in, hit hard by one of the defensive backs.
16, Joey Windler escapes, moves the football out to the 45-yard line.
So that's a pickup of 11 yards after running a close to 60 or 70 yards by Windler. As he went all the way to the right side, then all the way back across the field to the left side. I thought for a minute there that Joey might have had a crack there where he picked up a little bit of a wall. 2nd down and 10, 20, 23 yards. 2nd down and 23 for the Raiders. Clock running with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Windler in the shotgun by himself. Alpharetta showing a blitz look, and here they come. Windler throws it out to Braylon Williams. Williams at the 45. And a really nice tackle there.
Windler's pass complete to number 1, Braylon Williams. Nice block on the play by 9.
By the Alpharetta defensive back, trying to get that number.
I think it's 88.
Number 88, Samuel Rago. Terrific tackle in the open field. Held Williams to maybe a 1-yard gain.
And number 88, Samuel Rago.
Brings up 3rd down and 21 for the Raiders. Robert and Williams to the left. Lipsy and Cosgrove to the right. Gazeboy, the running back. Joey Windler, your quarterback, to shotgun. He takes the snap. Drops back. He has time. Now he's pressured. This is a dangerous pass and caught by Patrick Cosgrove at the 32-yard line.
He's going to have enough. He's got it. I'm pretty sure he's got it. That's been the connection all night long, Windler to Cosgrove.
Oh, I thought as soon as Joey let that ball go, I thought he was going to regret that one, Tim. He was on the run. It was a little bit back across the grain. But Patrick Cosgrove just reaches up and pulls that one down. Here's the replay on this play. Pressure came from the right side.
Windler to Cosgrove, 21-yard reception, good for a Walton Raider first.
Tackle there by number 2, Jester, but it's a 1st down for the Raiders after having a 1st and 34. The Raiders convert the first down and now have 1st down and 10, the ball resting just inside the 32-yard line in Alpharetta territory. 5:36, clock rolling. Orrin Whitaker in the backfield now with Kyle Vorster. Cosgrove in motion on the right-hand side. Braylon Williams on the left. Pass deep to Cosgrove. And it's,
boy, I tell you what,
by Patrick Cosgrove for a Walton Raider touchdown.
Wow. You saw Cosgrove and the defensive back for Alpharetta pawing at each other from the 5-yard line all the way into the end zone.
32 yards, Windward to Cosgrove.
Here comes the replay. Now watch if we get them on camera here. Look at them pawing at each other. And Cosgrove able to hold him off just long enough, and the officials, got to credit the officials letting both of them play.
So at the 5:13 mark here in the fourth quarter, the Walton Raiders go up 20-7, and Holden Fender's in to kick the extra point to make it 21-7. Two terrific plays from Joey Windler to Patrick Cosgrove. Fumbled snap. Lipsy couldn't hold on to that one.
Point after attempt fails.
And it results in no points for the Raiders on the extra point, but it'll be Walton Raiders 20, Alpharetta Raiders 7. You're watching Raider Vision Gamecast live from Raider Valley.
Welcome to Lazy Boy. I know what's going on here. This furniture, these prices, all this furniture is hot. Hot. Come on, kids. Let's go. It's just a sale. I swear.
Hurry in now for great savings. Comfort, it's what we do. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
High kick. It is going to be returned by Bennett at the 4. Bennett at the 15. He breaks out to the left. He's got lots of room. He's over the 30. Cuts back inside. Keegan Kyle, he kind of slowed him up there a little bit.
18, Michael Bennett brings the kickoff.
Tackle by number 20 for the Raiders, Jacob Blazer.
Tackle made by number
48-yard return for Bennett. Brings the ball into Raider territory at their own 48, at the Walton 48. It'll be 1st and 10, Alpharetta Raiders. Ball at the 48-yard line. That's the second return that Bennett's had like that, Tim. Long return up the left side.
Yep, they've still got some athletes, and now Justin Burns is back in there. I just don't understand this. What's been going on with this quarterback shuffle with Alpharetta tonight? But he's the one that's
Kwame
got
Larby,
the college commit already.
Burns looks, he throws one long and high to number 80, Brandon Terry. Good coverage there by number 14, Matt LaMontagne. And number 12, Zach Rattlehuber for the Raiders. You know, the Raiders have done a great job of keeping those tall wide receivers from being an impact or a factor here tonight, Tim.
Outstanding. Playing undersized to these big Division I wide receivers for Alpharetta. They don't quite have the size, but they're playing with a lot of heart.
All right, now you've got Terry and Bennett here in a bunch formation close to the Raider bench. And an inside handoff to Kwame Larby, and he picks up maybe 2 yards. Hit hard there by number 48, senior Brooks Tilley.
Again, got to question the decision-making here on the Alpharetta side. You're down by 2 scores, 4:41 left in the fourth quarter. Clock is ticking, and they run the ball right up the middle. They've got this vaunted passing attack, and they really haven't used it. They've tried to use it. I mean, the Walton secondary is doing an outstanding job, but you got to stick with the horse that brung you, as they say.
Burns throws a swing pass out wide to his running back, Larby, who drops it, and it brings up a 4th down and 9, 4th down and 8 for Alpharetta. He had one throw down the field, then a run up the middle and a short swing pass. Brings up 4th down, and Alpharetta will go for it here.
4th and 9 football on the 47-yard line.
Once again, you have Bennett and Terry here to the left side, close to the Raider bench, bunched together. Burns drops back. He's looking to his right. He throws downfield. He finds a receiver open for the 1st down. Caught there by number 81, Carlos Burst, tackled by Shamaria. It's a 1st down for Alpharetta. As the ball goes to the 35-yard line, that's a 13-yard pickup. Burns to Burst. Clock stopped at 4:10 as they set the chains. 4:12, 4:10 now. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Lone back. Burns drops back to pass. Good pressure by Kyle Woestman, and Burns is going to be sacked at the 46-yard line. That's a loss of almost 10 or 11 yards. I don't know if we have a replay on that one, Pete, but Woestman comes right up the middle.
Burns drops back to pass. Good pressure by Kyle Woestman, and Burns is going to be sacked at the
10-yard loss on the Woestman sack. It'll bring up 2nd down and 20. Ball back at the 45-yard line. You know, Kyle did a good job there of keeping his feet, not jumping up when the quarterback kind of gave that little pump look. 10-yard loss, 2nd down and 20.
Officials timeout.
Officials telling the band to stop. Can't play during play.
I'm sure that'll get the students making as much noise as they can now. So 2nd down and 20. Ball resting at the 45-yard line. Alpharetta running out of time here. Burns back to pass. Pressure again by the Walton line.
Oh, my.
That is a good catch and a good hit by Lipsy.
Burns pass complete to number 81.
Great catch by Carlo Burst to hold on to that ball.
Andrew Lipsy. Burst hangs on to the football. 23-yard gain, good for an Alpharetta 1st down.
23-yard gain on that play. 1st down for the Raiders. Great hit, great catch, and everybody got up okay. That makes it even better. Ball resting on the 23-yard line now. 1st and 10 for the Alpharetta Raiders. Clock rolling at 3:07. Burns back to pass. He looks, he throws the ball deep into the corner. And that ball is knocked down by number 20, Jacob Blazer.
Beautifully timed play by Jacob Blazer. Waited till the ball got there, and instead of hitting the receiver, went for the ball. He had a play on the ball.
Ball a little underthrown there, Tim, and gave Blazer a chance to come and make a great play on the ball. And they'll make it 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 23-yard line. Clock under 3 minutes now with 2:59 left here in the game. Alpharetta looking for a touchdown and then an onside kick. Here's a ball thrown down deep into the right-hand corner, and that's Shamarian. I think he has intercepted the pass.
Second one of the game for Justin Shamaria.
And it is intercepted by Shamaria, and the Raiders will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line on the interception deep in the end zone. Just Shamaria with a great catch.
Touchback brings the football out to the 20-yard line. Walton Raiders take over 1st and 10 on their own 20 with 2:51 left to play.
All right, so, we don't pick players of the game because we don't, but let's just say that Justin Shamaria and Matt LaMontagne at the corners tonight have just been outstanding. Terrific job. And then you've got the combination of the linebackers stopping the run, the defensive line putting pressure on the quarterbacks. I mean, this defense just plays as a great unit together.
The defense has been outstanding. They had a couple games earlier in the season where they gave up some points, a little more than Coach Hidalgo would probably like, but tonight they have done an outstanding job shutting down Alpharetta. They've given up a few big plays, but they've held them to 7 points.
Timeout taken by the Raiders as the Raiders take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. 2:51 left here in the 4th quarter. Sure, Coach Hidalgo would like to run the clock down here, just be content with the 20-7 margin. Alpharetta only has one timeout left, Tim, here in the half.
One thing I'll walk away from this game scratching my head about is just the continued rotation of quarterbacks for Alpharetta. And we heard everything about all the receivers and the quarterback coming into this game. Why did they not stick with the passing game the entire game? They tried to get a running game going against Walton. I mean, a lot of teams really haven't had a whole lot of success with that.
So the Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. Windler hands off to Vorster, and I suspect we're going to see a lot of that. Vorster up over the 25 to the 28-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2. Tim, you think Vorster's over 100 yards now? Must be close.
Oh yeah, he has to have been. I gave up on the stat keeping. Too much to do here. Multitasking, following the online chat. Appreciate everyone who's chatting with us tonight, and especially the ones who've kept it clean. There's some people we'll have to try to ban from the board on future games.
Under 2.5 minutes left here in the game. Raiders looking at a 2nd down and a long 2. Handoff to Vorster up the middle. Wow, he is hit hard at the line of scrimmage by number 2, Gregory Jester.
Tailback Kyle Vorster stacked up behind the line of scrimmage.
And number 49, Kenneth Reynolds. And they'll bring up a 3rd down for Walton. 3rd down and 4, ball resting at the 26-yard line. Number 9, Trip Roberts brings into play to Joey Windler.
2-yard loss brings up
tick, 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 tick. 149, 148, 147. Hard-fought game here by Walton to have this 20-7 lead. Windler on the keeper. He spins. Ooh, I think he may have gotten the 1st down, and there's a flag on the play.
Quarterback Joey Windler keeps the football. Stop made by 68.
Windler spins down. The ball is resting at the 30-yard line, but it might be a holding against the Walton Raiders. Number 54 for Alpharetta, George Monroe, signaling it's against Walton, and it is a holding penalty. 1:32 left here in the game. The Raiders go on the road the next 2 weeks. They play at Milton on the 9th of October. We have an off week this Friday. This is a Tuesday, everybody. You have to go to work tomorrow. And then on the 16th, they are at Centennial, and then come back here on the 23rd to play the big game against Lassiter. Tim and Kirk will bring you that game. And then the 30th against Roswell, and it'll be me and Kirk doing that, and then we wrap up against Pope. So, yeah, we hit the meat of the schedule here, Tim, in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Milton, Centennial, and then the 2 big ones. Well, they're all big right now. Milton and Centennial are good teams. You can't afford to look ahead to Lassiter and Roswell. You're going to end up with a loss on your schedule. So, it's Region 6, 5 big games in a row.
Absolutely. The important thing is take it one game at a time and, just try to get that W each week. But you're right, a couple very tough games in the second half of the season.
3rd and 10 for the Raiders, ball back on the 20-yard line. 1:16 here left in the game. Gazeboy and Vorster behind Joey Windler. Handoff to Kyle Vorster, and he is going to be pulled down at the 19-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and 10 for Walton. I think the Raiders are going to be content to punt here. Timeout with 1:04 left taken by Alpharetta, and that is their last timeout. So if Nakai Poole can get a good punt down the field, Tim, I think that little defensive hold, and we can probably go home victorious here tonight.
Now, Pope had a 20-14 lead on Kell in the 4th quarter. Kell has come back and taken the lead 21-14 over Pope late in the 4th quarter. That according to one of the online chatters here.
I've seen from some of the online chatters that we need to get the away games on TV. We'd love to do that, but that's a little harder to do. We actually have to have some permanent equipment that we have here in the press box and at the school here at Walton. We have big plans and dreams, but right now we're just going to have to be content with the home games, and we'll see what we can do next year. But if you enjoy the broadcast, please let Coach Hidalgo or Mike Travis, the president, know, and we'll do our best to keep these rolling. So the Raiders in punt formation. 1:04 left. Poole fumbles the ball. He kicks it. It gets a bouncer down the field. And it's going to be down at the 45-yard line.
Outstanding job by Nakai Poole.
Great play by Nakai.
That looked like a certain disaster for Walton, and he turned it into a pretty good punt with the roll.
Well, the ball's a little wet. Nakai just dropped it, but great job putting the ball down the field. Hey, listen, all you have to do is get it to go forward. It doesn't have to be some booming, high-spiraling punt. Just, move the ball down the field, and Nakai did a great job of that, avoiding disaster, as you said, Tim. That would have been bad, 1st and goal at the 4-yard line with a minute left here. But as it is, the Alpharetta Raiders are 55 yards away from the end zone with less than a minute to go, 52.7 seconds. Burns, the quarterback, under a lot of pressure. Vorst
14, Justin Burns.
tackled there by Chris Mooney, as well as Kyle Woestman putting pressure.
Chris Mooney getting up real slow, holding his right side. Hope he's okay. It's one thing you definitely don't want to see with this game pretty much in hand at this point. You don't want to see anyone getting hurt.
30 seconds left here in the game. Burns in the shotgun. Alpharetta Raiders running out of time. Pass downfield. It is caught. It's going to be a first down. Number 81, Carlos Burse, again with the reception for Alpharetta. The ball is going to be marked at the 32-yard line with 17.1 seconds to go.
Well, I tell you what, with all the everything we've heard about these two receivers, Terry and
Bennett.
And Bennett, thank you, for Alpharetta. Burse has been the one making the plays.
I would have to agree with that one, Tim. And, it's clock is ticking down here. The Walton Raiders are going to go to 5-0. Great pressure by number 57, Chris Boardman, on Burns. Ball almost picked off by Brooks Tilley. I'm sure he would have loved to have had that interception. Second down and 10 with 6.8 seconds left. So the Walton Raiders are going to move to 5-0, Tim, here on homecoming night on a Tuesday night in Raider Valley. They travel to Milton in 2 weeks. Alpharetta will fall to 2-3. One of the things you have to say, Alpharetta is going to beat somebody in the region that's going to probably cause the standings in the region to be shuffled around a little bit. But right now, here in the last play of the game,
Burns pass complete to number 31.
That will do it. The clock hits 0.
So we're at triple zeros here at Raider Valley. Your Walton Raiders 20, Alpharetta Raiders 7. And Tim, what are your thoughts and observations before we wrap it up here tonight?
Well, it was an unusual circumstances, I think, for both teams having the game canceled or postponed on Friday and moved to Tuesday night. And kind of a slow start for both teams. Walton will tell you, I think, that they didn't really play their